I think what moral argument God believing people would say is that like God is the good, and that not God's not like getting his morality uh, from something, or like he is the good, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so then is it derivative from his stance or something independent of him?
So like, are you saying is God good? The whole like argument like is God does God say something's good because
Oh, like is it determined by God or independent of God?
I don't think it's either. I think God just is good. Like it's like H2O is water, you know?
So then it's not determined by him. He just is that. So then the property is indeterminate, which is random by definition.
Yeah, I mean that's a good question. I'd have to look more into that, man. That's a good point. That's why I like watching your debates, because you make really good points, and I'm a Christian. And I feel like it's really good to watch opposing views to get like to keep an open mind, you know?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I appreciate the openness.
Yeah. So you do believe in the contingency argument? You just don't put it to God, you said?
Oh, I said I believe the contingency argument is compatible with atheism.
Oh, do you mind like
Yeah.
telling me
So
how
so
that works?
so the independent state can just be some sort of naturalistic state that is eternal.
Do you mind explaining that a little bit more? I'm not following.
Yeah, so typically like a contingency argument will say like or presuppose like a principle of sufficient reason in which says that like in order for like some sort of dependent variable to be explained, dependent variables need explanation from something else, right? And then independent variables are which explain, right? So essentially what we're trying to say is that there's going to be one independent which explains all the dependent, because everything in the world is dependent or contingent, right? Under the this argument. So all
Okay.
contingent things require something that's independent to explain it. An independent thing can just be a necessary thing in which is natural or non-natural.
Yeah, so I'm going to use that and ask them, because I want to hear what they have to say about that, and then some other guys that I talked to.
Yeah.
What about the other argument, the argument from motion? What would you say about that
Oh,
part?
same thing as the contingency. Well, similar in respect, because like they're saying an argument from essentially, I would just say that like it can be compatible. Like there can be like a naturalistic cause. It's the same sort of idea. It's just the contingency argument has like specific language of like independent, dependent, contingent things, necessary things, things like that that have to be like clearly defined.
Hmm. Okay. Very interesting. Yeah. And then as far as like the guest that was on before, I kind of agree with him about like actual like knowing God existing. Like I don't think you can prove God exists. I think you can know God exists, but the only way you can know God exists is like that like Holy Spirit confirming it. I can't see any other way of actually knowing God exists, because like even if there was like so-called proof, like you could just say that like say God appeared right now before you, and like and he made you know that he was God. You could
Wait,
just be like,
wait,
well,
Marvel,
that's
before you
like
go
an
into
alien or
that,
something.
like how
Yeah,
do
what's
we
up?
know though? Like how could this be any different than that Islam is true? Right? Like
So
Prophet
you're
Muhammad's
saying,
spiritual experience with the angel Gabriel, how is the confirmation of that through the conclusions any different than the spiritual experience, the confirming of the conclusions from that one?
yeah, that's a good point too, man. Honestly, I mean, you make some really good points. That's why I said I can't see myself being able to debate you. But as far as like knowing God, how what do you think would be like? What would proof look like to you?
For knowing God, proof to me it would look like a rational argument to justify it. So like saying that it's more probable than not, right, or saying that this is the most likely to be true, something that could confirm to that standard. Or like I could set like some particular conditions, like, oh, if God met these particular conditions with some particular event happening, right, well then I would be able to confirm that this is true, right? Like the idea that, oh, if Jesus giving some basic example. I'm not saying this is what I'm asking for. This is what I require in all circumstances.
No,
I'm just
no,
trying to
I
give an
get that, but
example
like,
so that you can relate to it.
No, I get that. I'm just saying, like, I always think to myself, if like Jesus appeared to me, how do I know it's not like a superhero or an alien or some like other thing that's not actually Jesus? But
That's a good question as well. Like, or like kind of like similarly to like what I asked you yesterday is like, how do you know it's not the devil? How do you know it's not Satan? Under your own view.
yeah, these are all really good points. I was watching that one yesterday, actually. Um, yeah, I mean that's why I try to remain open with all this stuff. It seems it, man, it's tough, man. I've watched a lot of Tim Keller. I don't know if you ever heard of him. He just passed
I've
away
actually
recently.
never. I'll definitely look into that.
He just passed away recently, but I just liked him a lot because he seemed very genuine, and like he was one of the only pastors I ever watched that said that gay people don't go to hell. That sin actually doesn't send you to hell. It's the sin underneath the sin, the believing that you can save yourself and that you could like be a good enough person or whatever. But I felt like he was really humble and genuine, and I followed him for many years. And yeah, these are some good thinking points that I'll have to talk to some other people about. Honestly,
For sure, man. I appreciate you coming up, man. Thank you so much.
yeah, have a good one.
Have a good one as well. All right, we're gonna go on to the next person, everyone. Yo, by the way, Ayana, thank you so much for the $10 on Venmo. Thank you so much. We're gonna go on to the next person real quick. Please only send a guest request if you think that being gay is wrong or immoral. We are just looking for some debates. Tap that screen. Let's try to run it up to 250,000 likes. We've been bananaed multiple times today. Hopefully, it doesn't happen to us again. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Hello?
Hello.
How old are you?
Pretty young.
That was a minor. That was a fetus. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hello.
Fetus?
Nigga, what?
Fetus. Fetus. We're gonna go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you disagree. What does banana mean? Suspended, but I got the account back. Just think of the first three letters of banana. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
What Muslim are you? Holy shit. Muslim.
Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hey, I'm 24.
Yeah, do you think that being gay is wrong or moral?
I do, but I don't want to come off like debating you, like the previous gentleman that was on here. I've watched you for a year, Parker. So, you know, you have way too many facts in front of your face that you can pull up in 2 seconds. So I'm not going to get into that. But there was another gentleman that was there earlier, and he was talking about how Christianity gets mocked the most compared to other religions or other followings, and he was kind of saying, why is this being so insinuated and pushed onto us? For example, we agree with what they want. We gave them their rights. I believe Obama passed it in 2015 or 16. In Canada, where I live, the law for gay marriage was passed in 2006 as a legality. So what are they trying to prove here? Like,
We're reducing
what's with
social
the movement?
stigmatization.
What's with the movement? Like, okay, we agree, guys, take your flags. You guys can go enjoy yourselves. Stop being so condescending onto everyone and pushing it into especially into the minds of young children that have not yet, they don't know where their left or right hand is, and they're bringing in drag queens and dancing in front of them and exposing, you know, men dressed as women exposing their bodies in front of young children. Like, if you don't agree that that defiles the minds of young kids, then
Yeah, so
that's my little
what are you
standpoint.
referencing? Where are they exposing bodies of children? And also, why are you
Just look at
associating,
videos.
first of all, please let me finish. Why are you
Yeah.
associating all drag to be that way? And then also, why are you associating this with gay people? Right? I think these are really wild claims.
not gay. I mean
Hillary,
all
thank you so
women in
much for the
general.
$20 on Venmo. Thank you so much, Hillary. W Hillary in the
Just
comments.
just the whole movement in general. Like, we get the point. We get what you guys want or what they want, whatever you want to say, however you want to label it. You guys got what you guys wanted. The legislators got passed. carry on with your life.
No,
have
you
to.
understand that we're combating the social stigmatization targeted towards gay people because social stigmatization negatively impacts how people
But
engage with reality or
but
engage in
Parker,
social communication.
where are the studies and statistics that prove that there is like a big push from like the right, or do you guys like to say the radical right or the crazy right? Because there's also levels to that. There's conservatives, there's liberals, and then there's the extremists of both wings, left or right. But which group necessarily pushes against this in the open and discriminates them? Like, I've never in my life of being socially social in social places, I've never seen anyone verbally abuse a gay person or a person a transgender. I've never ran into it, and I live in a big city. And I'm a dual citizen
Yeah,
of both of these
so
countries,
that's
and
good
I've
for
never
you, but
run
this
into it.
happens
I've never seen
all
it
around the US.
in my 25 years, whatever, since I was
Yeah,
10
that's
years old and I
specifically
could
anecdotal,
understand.
right?
No,
Right.
it's not anecdotal. It's because everyone I ask around me, they've never witnessed it, Parker. It's very rare where you can see someone getting.
I don't think it's as rare as what you actually think, right?
Well,
And first of all, in
that's
big
where we
cities,
might
it's
disagree
significantly
then.
less likely. Second of all, right, it seems very, very specific to your experience. As I could relate to many other individuals in my life, I could relate to if we relate to our own anecdotal experience. Right, but
Mhm.
that's why I would relate to the overall statistics, right? Things in which would indicate that this is still very likely to occur. You can relate to studies that would relate to how much people have experienced things like homophobia. You can relate to particular circumstances as it relates to sorry, I can't speak right now, how many people consider it to be wrong, right? First of all, most of the United States is Christian, right, to start with, which can considerably within their text consider gay intercourse to be wrong, right? And if we relate to being gay in of itself, pretty sure over 40%, right, 30 to 40% of the nation specifically still believes that, let alone global social attitudes associated against, towards being gay, right? That it stigmatized being gay on a global basis.
Yeah, I don't know. Even like the churches that I've been to and been around, like if a gay person were to walk in and show some interest or into the church or into the congregation, I've never seen anyone get kicked out or just because of the way they are or like that's not that what even Jesus preached. Jesus preached to accept everyone. Like if you look at historically who followed him, it was usually the homeless, the sick, the lame, the people that were considered outcasts in society. And he surrounded himself with those broken people and he was there to help them. Like, I just, maybe you're right. Maybe it is totally anecdotal from my end and from the people that live around me. But personally, I just think it has been very magnified to a scale to where it's not actually where it's at. Like, it's not that bad. Like, I don't see these people getting stoned and spat on, and I don't see these people getting,
Just because people aren't
discriminated.
getting stoned or
But
spat
when I,
on doesn't
no,
mean
no,
that there isn't social stigmatization or negative impacts targeted towards people who are gay. Like, I think it's wild for you to say that's the only type of shit that you would recognize.
well, no, today it's more obviously technology. Yeah, online, I get it. Online people are cowards. They can comment whatever they want and they run, right? That's different. But like on a physical social status, I have not witnessed it. I have not
Yeah, and
witnessed it.
just because you've never witnessed it doesn't mean it's not happening.
No, sure. I can't. Yeah, I definitely. I'm not disputing that. I'm just saying that I think it's been over magnified and kind of over pushed. You know what I mean? To an
How is it
extent
over
that to where
magnified and
it's not.
pushed?
Because it's like you guys they get their 1 month in June, but they talk about it and they push it on every news source or everywhere they possibly can. 12 months a
They
year.
push it, it's just, it happens to be talked about. What about it being
Yeah,
talked about
too
is a bad
much.
thing?
It does happen
How
to
is
get
it
talked
talked about too?
about, and in my opinion, a little bit way
Maybe
too
you're just
much.
engaging with it too much.
No,
You're the
not
one that's,
really.
because I don't see this everywhere. I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, when I come across your live every day, it's kind of usually what you're talking about every day, and you have like
I don't
5,000
talk about
people
this
in
every day.
here.
This is one of my main topics, but I don't talk about it every day.
Well, it
And
is
just
one of
because
your
I'm
main
talking about it
topics.
means if you're relating to TikTok, then, well, he just left the live. I don't know why he just left. If you're relating to TikTok specifically, it's his algorithm that he's engaging with. You would not see my lives if you weren't interested in this type of content. So you wouldn't see it so much or see it every day. That's not how it works, right? But we're gonna go to the next person. I didn't even say that he got disconnected or that he got banned, so I don't know what happened to him. We're gonna go to the next person. Please only send a guest request if you disagree, y'all. We are just looking for some debates. All right, it's not accepting this person. We're gonna try the next. Please, again, only send a guest request if you do disagree, if you think that being gay is wrong or immoral. We're gonna go to the next person real quick, everyone. Keep tapping that screen. Let's run it up to 250,000 likes real quick, everyone. We've been banned multiple times, so the likes have not been able to like grow today, like as much as typical. We would have, I think, probably like 750,000 at least, or probably 1 million right now if we didn't get banned. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Hello? All right, let's go to the next individual. Please only send a guest request if you disagree. We are just looking for some debates. Let's get the next person up here real quick, everyone. Please, again, only send a guest request if you do disagree. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Hello? Okay, it's not accepting this person. We're going to go to the next. Please only send a guest request if you disagree, y'all. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hi, I'm 45 years old.
Do you think that being gay is wrong or immoral?
I don't think that one choice that you make in life should be wrong or right. It's your own choice.
I don't think that being gay is a choice. Do you think that being gay is wrong?
I think being gay can be a choice because
How can being gay be a choice?
Because you either just don't go according what you like or what you feel towards others, or you have balls and you assume what you feel inside you is right.
Wait, sorry. Say this one more time. Sorry, I didn't catch what you said.
So it's a choice because there is always two versions of a story. So imagine you don't have the courage to assume yourself, or you do have the courage to go and I think that if you do something that is according with you, you're happy and you make everyone happy around you because you don't feel frustrated, you don't feel aggravated, you don't feel that you have to hide. You are more yourself.
What do you think being gay is? What is being gay?
I think it's just being a person with different opinions, different feelings. Just that.
And what are those different feelings?
I'm straight, but I have friends that they gay. I never ask them how they feel because I think that they should be the same as us, just with a different opposite sex.
Okay, so you don't think it's wrong?
No, I don't think that is wrong or right. I think that...
All right, I am just looking for people who disagree. Appreciate you coming up. We're going to the next person. Please only send a guest request if you think that being gay is wrong or immoral, y'all. We are just looking for some debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Doing? I'm 26.
For sure. Do you think that being gay is wrong or immoral?
I want to ask you. Yeah, I'm not agree. Imagine that you are 35, 40 years old, and you are in.
You do think it's wrong?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you are in the best version of yourself, and you make and create everything what you want. You earn $1 billion, and you are like Donald Trump. I don't know. You created books, you know. And the only one way to continue yourself in thought is birth of a new child. But if you are gay, you don't sleep with the girls, then you can't do that. And I know that you can say that there are
procreation. So, do you think it's wrong for me to engage in oral sex with my girlfriend?
I don't care about that.
But it doesn't lead to reproduction.
No. I mean that. Yeah, I know that there are many different ways for have a child, but you know that if you're choosing the not natural way, you can have many problems with your child when it will born.
Not natural way. Okay, so let me ask you this question: do you think it's okay to be gay so long as you're a sperm donor?
What?
Do you think it's okay to be gay so long as you're a sperm donor?
Yes, you can.
Oh, so it's okay to be gay so long as you're a sperm donor?
I mean that you can be gay and you can be sperm donor.
No, is it wrong to be gay if you are a sperm donor?
Is it wrong to be gay if you're... Good point. No, it's not wrong, of course.
No, it's not. Okay, so being gay isn't wrong?
No, I mean that it's technically wrong. It can be.
I just gave you a scenario where being gay is not wrong.
If you think about gay in general, if you think about that everybody will gay, I know that is don't.
Is it wrong to be celibate?
I think that you can. I think that if you want to be great, if you want to be big, in the
Is it wrong to be celibate?
in the last variant of yourself, you need to continue yourself. And normal variant of continue yourself for will not have problem with your child. It's natural variant of have a child. Okay, and if you're gay, you are a donor of sperm and something like that. You can have a problem with that. I don't know. Do you want problem with that? And if you are choosing gay variant of your life, I'm not sure. I think it's wrong.
So again, right? Is it wrong for me to engage in intercourse with a woman who's infertile?
Yeah, of course.
It is?
Yeah.
So if my wife becomes infertile after being married to her for like 30, 40 years, right? Do you think it's wrong for me to engage in intercourse with her? He left. Okay. All right, we're going to go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you disagree. We are just looking for some debates. Please only send a guest request if you think that being gay is wrong or moral. Watch there be people in the chat that say he fucking kicked him. Watch just say people in the chat say he kicked him. Is there going to be a single person? Yo, what's how old are you?
26.
Do you think that being gay is wrong or moral?
Yes, but can I just say something before we get into why and all that?
Sure.
So, like, I watched your live where you were talking about the earth being flat and also the one yesterday about devil and Jesus. And one guy said that you do have gifts and like even though you don't believe in God, there are people in here that do believe. And I will say I do believe with him a little bit because like all the topics that you have covered, you don't just pick this topic, you pick a bunch. And I'm like that one dude in the earth is flat where he's got a whole notebook. And I'm literally like that too. Like you bring up some good points and you do like get me to look even deeper into my religion.
Yeah, that's the very point. Then I would just say I think this would then get to is how do you know that your religion is true in order to say that being gay is wrong by virtue of your religion being true?
Well, so saying gay is wrong. It's just like saying me having sex without marriage is wrong. I think a man can love a man and a woman can love a woman, but I think the fact that when you engage in lustful intercourse is when it is a sin, is when it is wrong.
Yeah, but like that relies upon your particular religion being true. So how do we know the religion is true to then make the claim that the claims about religion, claims about morality within the context of the religion are true?
It does have to do with faith, but for me, like if we're looking at factual evidence, I would say the Dead Sea Scrolls on top of the Codex Sinaiticus and the Vaticanus, the Codex Vaticanus, I think is how it's pronounced. And those date back to the 3rd century BCE and to the 1st century CE. And I think the Codex Sinaiticus and Vaticanus, it dates back to the 4th century.
Okay, so yeah, again, what about those are you just saying the Dead Sea Scrolls allow us to see that like hundreds of years after the manuscripts from hundreds of years after Jesus died are similar to the manuscripts we have now? That doesn't tell us that means that God is Jesus God or anything.
From my understanding, they aren't the actual scrolls. They're copies. So we don't even know what the actual scroll, how old
that's kind of like
is.
my point.
But then also, like, you think about our Pentagon, right? And we have all our important documents protected. Why would they seal these scrolls and protect them for thousands of years if they weren't important?
Why do we protect like our grandparents' old notes and letters?
Because we think they're important, and they are.
History, right? Why do we keep old papers of the book right now? History.
And isn't history true? Like that's how we develop history is from.
But not all history. No. There are claims within history, mythology, Greek mythology. Do you think that's true?
If we go into that, so what I would say is, and this isn't proven, like this is literally just my theory on it, like. What I would say is, you've heard this story because you were Christian at one point. You've heard the story that the the angels were casted down from heaven and they mated with humans. Have you ever heard that from the Bible?
Yeah, I've heard that.
So what I would say is all these myths that we have could potentially be from the angels.
Yeah, yeah, people claim that they're fallen angels, or that they're Nephilim.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's your claim that relies upon your belief being true. Does it not? Yeah. But like the whole point it kind of gets around the point that I'm making.
But then if you like, if I'm just going off the Bible and not like the Dead Sea Scrolls, but we have even people in the Bible that have seen Jesus.
Even the people in the Bible. Okay, so like what specifically?
Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John were the eyewitnesses of Jesus. And these are old scrolls that have been written down. It's like we gathered old scrolls and they were proven to be true. And I'm not saying like...
Yeah, so you know that they wrote each of those books? For sure?
From the Codex Sinaiticus and Vaticanus. I could be pronouncing that wrong.
Pretty sure we don't know the true writers of... It might be Matthew. We don't know the true writers
of. There was a part that was proven not to be from actual Matthew, and they took that out. But that was proven. It was from, I believe, a follower of Matthew. And like I said, I am not 100%. I'm not all right and all knowing. But I do believe that my God is. And I don't know. And like if we go into like the Big Bang Theory, and I know you said you're agnostic, so you don't know what came before the Big Bang Theory. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't it logically make sense that somebody that was all-powerful and all-knowing created the start of the Big Bang? I mean,
no.
Just for it to come out of nowhere?
No, because we would expect to see a different world than what we currently exist in. Right? If they're all-knowing, all-powerful, and all-good, we'd expect to see a world in which there is no evil. Right? Because if they have a preference against evil existing and they're omnipotent, well, then they would get rid of evil.
We were not made for evil. That's where Adam and Eve come in.
Yeah, so the fact that there was evil in the context of the garden, right, disproves the idea that the God exists.
Evil
right?
didn't.
Because what would be entailed logic, the serpent wasn't evil?
No, God created animals in the Garden of Eve as well. He didn't just create man, all animals, all...
Wait, do you believe in Adam and Eve?
I do, and I do believe...
Well, I just have a question about that. Do you think that God wanted them to be fruitful and multiply?
I do.
Okay. Do you think that incest is wrong?
Well, yeah, and this is... I'm glad you brought this up, because my viewpoint on this, and I could be wrong too, but God created people. He first created people, then he created the Garden of Eden. Doesn't that, like, to me, that implies that there were people outside of the Garden of Eden. It wasn't just Adam and Eve. They were in that garden, but they also got banned.
So what biblical evidence do you have for that they were created outside of the
If you read Genesis, I believe it's like 2 something. I don't have the Bible memorized in my head, and logical sense to me says that there are people outside of the Garden of Eden for the Garden of Eden to be made, and people were made before it. He doesn't say Adam and Eve were made before the Garden of Eden. He says that people were made, the Garden of Eden, and then he made Adam and Eve in the garden. So to me, I do...
So Adam and Eve weren't the first people?
They were the first pure people, in my sense. I think the people outside the garden weren't pure. What
do you mean by weren't pure?
Right, I don't know. Like, they were made in perfection. They were Christ's bloodline. Like, that was Christ's bloodline. Adam and Eve, Jesus Christ came from the bloodline of Adam and Eve.
Yeah, but like, so there were humans that were created imperfect outside of that context, but God's perfect, right? So why does God create things that are imperfect if God is perfect? I
actually wrote this down, and it's like, why did God make us? it was coming from what you were talking about yesterday. So like why God created earth, to provide a place for the sons and daughters of God to dwell in mortality and prove themselves worthy, though keeping the commandments, to return to the presence of God from where they came. Adam and Eve were with God. They were with him in his presence. And that's why we have earth, so we can live in mortality and prove ourselves worthy, keeping the commandments to return to God in heaven. And for 1,000 years in the holy reign on earth.
Okay. So, can you tell me where in the Bible specifically that other people were created outside of the context of Adam and Eve?
Do you have
Of
your
that time
Bible?
period?
If you pull up Genesis, I believe it's the second, I think it's Genesis 2. And
Yeah, there'd be too much to look through in Genesis 2 to find it right now.
if I exit,
Go away. I won't be able to hear you.
all right,
It might-
I'll look real quick and see if I can find it.
All right, tap that screen, everyone. Let's try to get to 500,000 likes. If you want to help get it out to more people, everyone share the live, copy link, send it to a few friends. We should be on live for another hour and a half or so. So if you do want to help get out to more people, everyone share the live, copy link, send it to a few friends. It's lagging. Yeah, so if it's lagging for you, go back out of the app, come back in, and it should stop lagging. TikTok is just a little bit weird with the lagging recently. If you want to support me, Venmo, Cash App in the bio, everyone. As well as if you want to gift me through TikTok, the only way you can is gifting subs. Keep tapping that screen though and sharing the live. Our live was doing good earlier, but TikTok's banned me or like banned me like 3 times. But we got the account back every single time, so we're fine. I didn't end live. I got bananaed. For the first 2 were hate speech, hateful behavior, and then the third one was minimum age requirement. So they were all just like bogus ones. Banana, yeah, I use that terminology all the time. If you have any questions in the meantime, put in the comment section. She's looking for a source right now, everyone, for a particular claim in the Bible that says that Adam and Eve weren't the first 2 people that were created. Because if it was the case that Adam and Eve were the first 2 created people, well, then it would entail a contradiction. God wanted Adam and Eve's kids to sin because God wanted Adam and Eve's kids to be fruitful and multiply, but also not engage in incest.
I was trying to look, but it's gonna take me a while to read. But my friend, he picked up that there were people outside of the Garden of Eden when Cain went out of the presence of the Lord, and that is Genesis 4:16-17.
Wait, so when what?
When Cain, their son, Adam and Eve's son, he went outside of the garden, there were already people outside of the garden.
Genesis 4 what?
16-17.
All right. And Cain went out of the, that's an interpretation, I think. And Cain went out of the presence of the Lord and dwelt in the land of Nod on the east of Eden. So this is in the land of Eden.
East of Eden. It's outside of Eden. He went out from the presence of the Lord. The Lord is in Eden.
Then, so the verse goes, Cain knew his wife, right? And she conceived and bore Enoch, right? And he built a city and called the name of the city after the name of his son Enoch.
Yeah, outside of the garden, he had a wife. He found a wife.
Yeah, but who does
outside
it
the
say the
garden.
wife was?
It doesn't say her name, but he found her outside of the garden. So to me, it just seems like
I would have to see that, or see good reason to believe that it was like someone from outside.
But it says that he went outside of the presence of the Lord, and the Garden of Eden is the presence of the Lord. And if he went outside,
Traditionally, what I am seeing is that it's interpreted to be a sister.
like I said, to me, it seems like there were people outside of the garden.
Yeah, but traditionally, right? His wife is seen to be his sister.
Because God created in 7 days, he created the earth, and it talks, sorry, it talks about him creating people in those 7 days. And then you flip on to 2 Genesis, and that's when he talks about Adam and Eve. And if he created people in those 7 days and then flip to 2 Genesis, it talks about Adam and Eve. So there were people made out. To me, there were people made outside of the garden.
Hey, I'm going to clear this up really quickly. You're relying on the English translation. The Hebrew uses the same word. Adam means man or human. So in both in Genesis
Actually,
1
if
and
we
2.
go into Hebrew, I love that you brought this person, because I have been studying big into ancient biblical Hebrew. And no, I'm not like an expert or anything, but if you take Bereshit in beginning, it literally is Bet, which is a house or tent, Resh, which is first or highest person, Alf, which is strength or God, the ox's head, Shin, which is consume or destroy, Yod, which is hands or work, or and Tav, which is covenant and mark. And if you read it from, because we're not supposed to read left to right, we're supposed to read right to left. And if you read it, it literally, like if you just take the singular word, the singular letters, it says the Son of God will be destroyed with his hand on a cross. And that is literally the first word of the Bible.
Well, unfortunately, you're wrong. And the reason why you're wrong is because a biblical scholar by the name of Dan McClellan put out a full 10-minute video debunking that. That is a total misunderstanding of the Hebrew language. The Hebrew language is not a phonetic language. It does not rely on phonemes, which is what you're describing. Certain things, like, for example, bay does mean house. It does mean a house. But, for example, Son of God, you are reading into it. He actually does study biblical Hebrew. Even though I can speak it, he studies it intensively. He goes over point by point the entirety of Genesis 1 and shows why that is not true. So I'm sorry,
Resh is bar, which is son, correct?
Well, no. Bar can mean son, but the problem is you're adding it as if it has phonemes. It does not have phonemes. Hebrew is not a phonetic language. It does not have phonemes, which are those graphic symbols that you are describing. It does not exist. And you can go watch his video. He writes the Hebrew out for you. He shows you how you're wrong. Why? Because this is a common claim made by some Christians that the first part of Bereshit bara Elohim et hashemayim wahit wahashat means a certain thing. Dr. Dan McClellan. And he has a 2-part video that literally covers the entirety of Genesis 1:1. The entirety of it. And it takes about 10 minutes, and he breaks it down and shows you how that is incorrect. Because I've heard this claim before, and the reason is it relies on a misunderstanding of biblical Hebrew, which is that it's not a phonetic language.
I heard that too, and I thought I saw something where another doctor said that it was true, but I don't have that.
Well, the problem is that the doctor that you're referencing is probably belongs to an institute that wants to read into it. There is no biblical scholar, and I mean a credentialed biblical scholar working at a university or a seminary that believes what you just said. That is a total corruption of biblical Hebrew. It just simply does not exist.
I'll have to look more into.
But even if let's move past that point. Adam, the Hebrew word Adam literally means human or man. Both in Genesis 1 and 2, the name of Adam is not given. He is simply called man. And we get the name Adam from the Hebrew word Adam. So that's how we know that no one else was created, because in Genesis 1, God creates Adam and Isha, woman, out of the same thing, and it creates all at once. In Genesis 2, he creates Adam first, and then he creates Isha separately from the rib. But there's nowhere does it imply in Genesis 1 through 3 that there are separate beings outside of the garden. That's an interpretation to try to get past the fact that Adam and Eve and their children had to have sex with each other because there was no other people. So what's happening is that people try to say, well, there had to be other people because there's no way
Why would it talk about man and woman before the garden was created?
lovely because Genesis 1 and 2 are different stories. Genesis 1 is a younger story. Genesis 2 is the older story. You can look at, for example, the name of the gods. God is called Elohim Adonai in one of them, and he's just called Elohim in the other. That's because they had different conceptions of God. You can look at the way it's being framed in Genesis 1. It's a cosmological creation. God speaks Adam into existence. God uses grandiose language. In Genesis 2, God is a craftsman. He built Adam from the mud. He sculpts him. He literally tends to a garden. It's much more a personal God.
And if Adam means man, then if he spoke man and then he created man out of the ground.
No. He spoke. He didn't. No. Okay. He spoke. He gave life into man. Right, he gave life into man, but what you're getting confused at is when he created man in his own image, right? He said, "Let us make Adam in our image according to our likeness." He just spoke him into existence, and to mean that he just literally said, "Let us create him," and so he created him. In Genesis 2, that's when he actually forms him from the mud. He is a much more he's a craftsman of the mud.
So you're saying in Genesis 1, he's just talking about it. He didn't
What I'm saying is that these are two. No, what I'm saying is these are two different stories. Genesis 1 is a younger story, and what's known in biblical studies as a redactor, somebody who puts stories together. A redactor literally stitched two creation myths together. He stitched them together. That's why if you look at, for example, look at Genesis 2 and read the first Genesis 2:1 through Genesis 2:4. Okay? You'll notice something. It's a continuation of the previous myth. And then all of a sudden it goes back to a creation myth. It just changes and goes right back to it. Why? Because a redactor, a person who puts stories together, took an old creation myth and a new creation myth and put them together.
So you think that's a myth?
Well, I do, but the person who put this together clearly thought that these were two stories about their creation, and he had two competing stories. So instead of choosing one, he puts them together. The same thing, by the way, happens with Noah's Ark. You can go to Genesis 8 and 9, and you can look at the story of Noah's Ark, and you'll notice that there are doublets, which are repeating sentences. Why? Because
That's
the author.
me because in Matthew, if we're talking about the author, and it's not just one author, there's numerous people that revised the New Testament. If we say it wasn't just King James, it was a bunch of people that he designated or selected.
No. That's translations. I'm talking about the original text.
Okay.
Matthew didn't write. No. Okay. Yes. The gospel according to Matthew, Mark. Yeah. Nobody really thinks that Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John wrote Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Nobody really thinks that the gospels themselves are all anonymous. They don't say who they're by. We put those names to them.
The oldest one found, wasn't it?
No, Mark is.
Marcus, that's right. You're right. It was Mark was the oldest one found.
Yeah, Mark is the oldest. But regardless, all you have to do is do a careful study of Genesis 1 and Genesis 2. Just compare the language, and you will see that they are two different types of creation. One is a creation out of the cosmos, of a grandiose type scale. The other one is a personal creation of a God as a sculptor. And the reason why that is scholars have known this for about 100 years, is that this was because a redactor, a person who edits books and edits stories, literally took one old story and one new story and fuse them together.
So one is like the cosmos. That's just confusing to me because it talks about people in one.
No. I said it has a cosmological scale to it.
Okay.
God is grandiose. He's bigger. He's not a personal God, right? He's a transcendent God. He speaks things into existence. In Genesis 2, he's a personal God. He walks amongst Adam and Eve. He forms Adam out of clay, right? He's amongst the garden. That's a different conception of God.
That God could have. I'm trying to word this right. You don't think that he could have been I'm sorry if I didn't say that right.
No.
In the first, and then in the second, he wanted a more close relationship with us. So that's why he built Adam and Eve out of the mud. Well,
No, because it's talking about the same person, and we know that just by looking at the Hebrew. It uses the same word. It uses Adam. It's the exact same person. Nowhere within the text does it say that this is a different person. It is literally two stories about the same people. It's two
if
different creation
Adam
stories
means
about the same people.
people, then how do we know that they are not different or the same?
No. Adam means human or man.
Okay, if it means human or man, how do we know that if Adam, he's using Adam, how do we know that they aren't different or the same? How are we saying that they're the same
Sure.
instead of Adam? If they mean man, it could be numerous men, correct?
Yes, because the way that he speaks about them and the way that he goes forward with them, right? It's not until the end of the story that he names Eve. He never names Adam. Adam just keeps his name. Adam names Eve, right? In the first one, Eve is not named. Eve becomes named in Genesis 3. The person who wrote Genesis 1 and 2 was not concerned with their names. In fact, if you look in Genesis 2, Eve is not named. Eve is simply called what her Hebrew name is, or what the woman or the word for a woman means, which is Isha, because man literally means Ish. Adam means human.
Adam means human. So in one it says Adam, and then but one
Both of them say both of them say Adam, right? Ish is like a type of man. It's like an adult male, right? Adam means man, as in like human man, as in like mankind.
and okay, I'm getting a little confused. I wrote down what you said because I do want to look into it more, but I'm still confused because Genesis 1 says man and Genesis 2 says man.
No. In the English, okay, yes, but you have to look at the Hebrew.
Well,
Both of the
Adam
Hebrew,
means
no. Yes, both of them mean man, and but man is a Adam is like an English word that can have multiple meanings, right? And so what I'm trying to say is that it means man as in mankind, right? But it also means human. So the problem is that he's talking about the same person, and we know that because of the way that he's being described, right? God gives man dominion over over the animals in Genesis 1, but he also does the same thing in Genesis 2.
So you think it's the same thing, just repeated?
Two different stories. It's two different stories. One is a creation story of the cosmos and of the grander scale, and the second story is the same thing, except it's more focused on the creation of man and woman.
Then what about when Cain goes out of the garden and finds his wife?
Again, the interpretation has been that no. The interpretation has been for centuries that was his sister. That Adam and Eve had other children, and that Cain married one of his sisters and produced children there. Why? Because no one could. Because
the Hebrew word that says sister, and it's Cain.
No. It doesn't say. The text is silent on it.
So when we're just assuming it's his sister.
Yes, but it has been the traditional assumption based on that Adam and Eve were the first man and woman, that the only way this can possibly be, and by the way, fit in with the creation of Adam and Eve as being the first human, that Cain had to marry his sister. Had to. That's why they assume that. People today try to get by that because it's kind of bad to say that Cain had sex with his sister. So people get by that by saying, well, other people existed. But then that takes away from the first man creation in Genesis 1 and 2. It takes away from the whole story. Because the whole story from Genesis 1 through 3 is about Adam and Eve being the first man, Adam committing the first sin, Eve committing the first sin, and that's what leads. If other people existed outside the garden, that means that they weren't perfect. It means that they were already had his sin nature, because God only creates perfect beings within the Garden of Eden. He does not create them outside the Garden of Eden.
That's interesting because have you researched ancient biblical Hebrew?
I know the language fairly well. I mean, not perfectly, but I can
read. I guess they would be called.
I can read
scrolls. Have you read the Dead Sea Scrolls and all the other ones?
The Dead Sea Scrolls are just an older version of the modern Tanakh. So I just read the Tanakh.
So you read the Tanakh,
which is the modern Hebrew Bible.
Oh, what's her name? Lilith.
Lilith is only mentioned once in the entire Hebrew Bible.
Because I was getting very confused on that. From my understanding, it means like screeching owl, correct?
Yeah. I mean, maybe. I mean, the story of Lilith isn't really connected to Adam. I mean, I know what you're insinuating. You're insinuating that Lilith was
Oh
Adam's
no,
first
no,
wife, and
I'm not insinuating that because honestly, it's not in the Bible, and I haven't researched that enough. I was just
yeah, it's not the Bible. That's
wondering
a
because you
extra biblical
ancient
tradition.
biblical
But yeah, Lilith. Yeah. I mean, all I know is that it's a later thing made up because it's only in one part of the Bible that she's actually mentioned. So I mean, but that doesn't do it.
Yeah,
That doesn't do
I'm gonna
anything
research
because I think
what you've been saying.
she's mentioned in Isaiah. I think.
Does ancient biblical Hebrew have numerology? Like,
They
do
don't have
they
numbers. No,
mean
they don't have
numbers?
numbers. The
What do they mean?
their numbers are their alphabet. So Aleph means one, Bet means two, Gamut, Dalet.
And then after 9, after 10, does it go up to 20, 30,
No,
40?
yeah, and then it goes
Okay.
based on like addition.
Okay, so my question to you, because you think it's a myth,
Well, I do think it's a myth.
what
Yeah.
about Yahweh being in our DNA? 10, 5, 6,
No,
5.
again, I'm gonna point you to Dan McClellan. He did a video on this too. I mean, he's
I think
the
that was
Bible.
Dr. Isaiah Rubinstein who
Probably, but
found
that's
that out.
that's a misunderstanding. Okay, I don't have Parker doesn't want to get this either. I mean, you can talk to any biologist; they will tell you that the blockchains of molecules that make up the double helix don't actually form a crucifix. They don't look like they don't look like a crucifix. It's only if you orientate it a certain way. It's only if you
Well,
look
I
at it a
was
certain
talking
way.
about the numbers that are
Oh, you mean the
the 10, 5,
Yod Hey
6,
Vav
5.
Hey?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, the
I
Yod Hey
don't know
Vav
about
Hey.
the crucifix.
Well, no, I mean even that is no because I mean if you look at the neurotransmitters the proteins that make up DNA, it doesn't exactly spell Yod Hey Vav Hey, nor does it mean the like first breath or anything like that. I mean, no, this is it's a corruption of biology. It is people
Isn't it
trying to.
repeated though?
Yeah, well, yeah.
10, 5, 6, 5, 10, 5, 6, 5, 10, 5, 6, 5.
Well, I'm not sure that is repeated. I think if I remember from Dan McClellan's video on this, I think there is another number that's added somewhere in there. But the point is all I would say is get off of biblical evangelical TikTok, go to biblical critical scholarship TikTok, and you will see the evidence that points that you're just getting bad information. People that have
I've heard of
PhDs.
people. Yeah, no, I've heard of people saying that like it didn't have pictography.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, yeah. The problem is that people who actually study biblical Hebrew, people that have PhDs in it, people that do this for a living, right, in both seminaries and in universities, do not believe this at all. They think this is total bogus. Like I'm sorry, but like what you're saying is like
Zoe,
found
thank
on
you
a
for the
random
$1.11.
website.
Thank you, Zoe.
So, I mean, but back to the point, I'll just sum up. Yes, you can just read Genesis 1 and 2, just read it critically. You'll see that it's two stories. It's clearly two stories about the same person. And then the obvious conclusion based on that is that Adam and Eve had sex with each other. They produced 3 kids, Cain, Abel, and Seth, and Cain went out and had sex with his sister, who is unnamed. And then that produced Enoch.
I mean, we can agree to disagree with that one because you're telling me that there's no ancient biblical Hebrew that says that Cain's wife was his sister. So
No. Yes, I agree that that's not in the text. All I'm saying is that for about 2,000 years, that's been the interpretation.
But an interpretation doesn't mean it's fact.
Well,
True.
exactly. We can say the same thing to you.
Yeah, true. But you have to give me evidence to prove your point, and you can't find textual evidence to prove your point. I can find textual evidence that I can say Genesis 1 and 2 are the same story. They tell of the creation of the first man and woman, and if that's true, that's the first man and woman, that means that they had to have only one set of kids, and there was nobody else. Therefore, they had to have sex with their siblings.
I'll look into that more. I'll look into Genesis 1 and
Sure.
2 being the same.
You can look up, for example, an evangelical website called gotquestions.org. com or something, right? It's an evangelical website. They even say that Cain had to have sex with his sister, but they give a reason. They say, well, God did not.
He had to do it, you know.
Yeah,
he just had to do it.
That's what they say. They say though.
Yeah, no,
God,
I think I know exactly what you're talking about, because it also says that over millions of years, or however long it's been, like 6,000 is what some people believe, but over that many years, that it would have been, what's the scientific word? Like, I guess it would have been crossed too many times, right? Back then they were more pure. I guess that's the best word to say.
yes,
But you still think incest is wrong, right?
No, I honestly, I believe that there were people outside of the Garden of Eden. I am going to look more into that, but I really do believe that there were people outside of the Garden of Eden, but I will look more into that.
Sure. I mean, I can guarantee you that as soon as you Google it, you'll see that most critical scholars will not agree with you, and they have plenty of evidence
You were
to.
talking about too. I'm going to look at him too.
Dan
Yeah, Dan
McClellan. McCellan. Yeah, he is a prolific Hebrew scholar. He posts regularly on debunking outlandish claims. He himself is a practicing. I think he's a Mormon, but he is very unbiased. He just tells it like it is. He debunks both atheists and Christians, and he is very good at what he does. And he has
the Talmud, the Babylonian Talmud.
I have not read the Talmud thoroughly, but I know what it is, and because I'm not Jewish, so I have no point in reading the Talmud, because it has no bearing on my life. The same way I have not. Oh, thank you so much for the galaxy. The same way I have not read the Midrash, because I have no need to.
Yo, Cleo, thank you so much for the $20. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. W Cleo.
What is the Jewish one you read?
I read the Tanakh.
Tanakh.
Which is the Hebrew Bible. In fact, I got my Tanakh literally on my bookshelf, and it's it's published by the Jewish Bible Society.
Yeah,
and it's the official Tanakh of the Jewish people. So,
hello, thank you for the $5. I appreciate it.
Because I was just wondering if you read that. If you've also read the Talmud, where it's
No, I mean, no, as I said, because I'm not Jewish, I have no point in reading. That only applies to Jews. Well, I mean, not even Jews. It applies to Orthodox Jews, people that take it seriously, and I don't take it seriously. Yeah, and so I don't have a need
word
to.
Of mouth written down over years.
Yeah, but it doesn't apply to my life, so I have no need for it.
I got
you.
So,
unless I need to read it, but but it doesn't interest me. I'm much more interested in just reading the Tanakh. So, and I do that. Okay, Parker, I think I said my piece. So, thank you for having me on, dude.
Peace, bro. I love you, man.
Yeah, bye, dude.
All right. Yeah. So, I mean, is there anything else you want to talk about, or?
I don't know. I mean, I like the Talmud, and I can talk about Josephus, and I can talk about Celsus to prove Jesus, but that isn't really.
I believe Jesus existed. I believe crucifixion. I just don't believe resurrection or miracles.
He did miracles, right?
Yeah.
Even though in 700 AD, the Talmud, it says that he did miracles. And these are people that do not like Jesus. Like, these are people that are critical of Jesus, but they never deny he did miracles.
Are they religious?
The Talmud, it comes from Jewish religion. Celsius, he despised Christianity. But he even stated that Jesus acquired miraculous powers in Egypt, and the Toldot Yeshu, and I could be pronouncing this so wrong, but that's from 400 AD, and he healed a leper. That's written down in Josephus AD 39. He was a doer of startling deeds, and these are all people that literally did spies.
That does not mean that they did startling deeds.
Startling deeds. What about miraculous powers? Healed a leper.
Who said that?
Which one?
Miraculous powers, yeah.
That was Celsius, and he despised Christianity, but even he stated that in Origins Against Celsius, Book 2, Chapter 49.
But we're talking about people who are religious, right?
I don't know if Celsius was or religious or not to be on. Oh, he was a pagan philosopher. Actually, I wrote that down. Yeah, an opponent of Christianity, but he still admitted that Jesus had miraculous powers. And then in the Toldot, it says
I feel like that's like a Muslim claiming that like he's a prophet or something. I don't see how that's really like much different.
Except it's very, very old. And it's people that all despise Jesus, but they still said he did miracles.
They're again religious. Like people who are Muslim might despise Jesus within.
But would say he healed a leper.
Jesus' certain claims, like he's a god or something, like, or say that he doesn't make claims like that. Or you could have people that, I mean, I don't see reason why this specifically would indicate that it did happen, because when we're looking at historical evidence, we're looking for what's most probable to be the case, and miracles in and of themselves are the least probable thing to occur, right? So it couldn't possibly be the most probable and least probable unless there's only one possible explanation. And I still think that there are other possible explanations given what we've talked about here.
Is because it's written down from thousands of years ago. And these are important documents.
So are other religions.
Celsius, he was a pagan philosopher, is what it says. He was the one that said miraculous powers in Egypt, and the Toldot, I believe.
Was it that he claimed that, or like that he did have miraculous powers?
Conceded that. So what would just conceded mean to you? Like he came to that conclusion?
If he thinks that Jesus did miraculous powers, right, and where he's talking about
he acquired miraculous powers in Egypt, and that he worked miracles.
Wait, where'd you get these works?
But Origins, Origin.
Because Matt, the person who was just on, he thinks that they're only quoted by Origin and that his works are lost.
What do you mean?
Yeah, he said that Celsius' works are lost and that they're only quoted by Origin.
I brought up the Talmud, and he said he doesn't read that. That is Jewish, and that's Jewish leaders who were perfectly willing to say that Mary did not have a virgin birth, that she had, she did it with a Roman soldier, but they never denied Jesus's miracles. They were fine with denying that Jesus was not born, I guess.
Here, Matt wants to come up again.
But they didn't deny that he did miracles.
I'm back. Okay.
That's why I was asking you about the Talmud, because I wanted to see
No, I have not read the Talmud fully, but I know what you're referencing. Did they speak about Jesus? Yes, they spoke about Jesus about 300 or 400 years later. It was not.
Yeah, that's written. That was written down, but they think that it was way older because it's oral that has been written down.
Sure, that's possible. But what do they say about him? They say that he was a doer of great deeds. A doer of great deeds is not nothing new. There were other messiahs.
That was in Josephus. He was a doer. The Sanhedrin 43a, volume 3, the Babylonian Talmud. It says that he did miracles.
Magic. They think he was a magician.
They think that, but they didn't deny that he did miracles. That's what I'm saying. The problem is though that many people were considered to be magicians and did miracles. Even the disciples themselves did miracles. Jesus gave them the power to cure lepers and to cure diseases. Peter walked on water. Right, Simon. There's a man named Simon who's considered a magician in the Book of Acts. Which Simon are you talking about?
Simon in the Book of Acts. He was a magician.
But not one of Jesus's disciples.
No, a different Simon. But the disciples could do miracles. That doesn't mean that they were God. Right.
Sorry, someone said Simon Cowell.
Yeah, I know. Simon Cowell and Simon Garfunkel. Yeah. No, I mean, but, right, you understand my point, right? Many people claim to have done miracles. In fact, many of the Roman emperors claim that. The Roman emperor, I'm trying to think of which one. It was either, I think it was Tiberius. It was claimed that he spat on the mud, rubbed it in a blind man's eye, and that blind man then saw. Same way that Jesus, by the way, did it. Jesus also did that. Jesus spat in mud, rubbed it on the blind man's eye, and then the man could see. So Tiberius, I think somebody also said, I think it was Vespasian, or this is not a new claim. And the Talmud uses the word magician to try to disprove that he was God, because to be a magician was a curse, was a
It says he
bad
did
thing.
miracles through what they think is dark magic.
Which is
That's why I'm
magic.
saying
Which
these
is
are all
magic.
critics of Jesus that admit that he did miracles. They are critics.
Oh,
They
well,
said
hold on,
that he
hold on.
wasn't born
Josephus doesn't say that. He says that
that he healed a
that he
leper.
did great deeds. He said that he
Oh
did
yeah, no,
great
you're right.
deeds.
Josephus says a doer of
Yes.
startling deeds. What
Celsius,
would
who
you
you're citing,
define a startling deed?
I don't know. I mean, it could be anything. Somebody, someone did a fucking evil Knievel thing off a cliff. That's a startling deed. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Jesus could have done hand tricks for all I know. That could have been a
Oh,
startling
you
deed.
mean
I
like
mean,
handstands or backflips? That's what you mean.
sure. I mean, he could have had luscious hair and people loved it. I don't know. I mean, the point is people thought that he did. I have no problem with him believing that he did good deeds, like miraculous deeds,
But they weren't
right?
they weren't good deeds. They were startling deeds. And what startles you? Like literally something miraculous.
Not necessarily. There were plenty of magicians back in the day. There were people who could do magic tricks and make things disappear and
You think he was
everything.
just a magician?
No, I didn't.
What
No,
about
I
the
don't think
cold
that. No,
dog?
I don't think that. I think he was a man,
Okay,
just a man. But what I'm
that
saying
did
is these
startling
people thought
deeds.
that. These people thought that. What I'm saying is
What
that
about
the
when he
Jews.
healed a leper
I don't believe he did that.
in the Toldot Yeshu?
I don't believe that. I believe that's just a claim about him. There are many people who claim to hear lepers. I don't believe that those people also heard lepers.
Well, that is very, I don't know. I mean, that's you're right. Yeah, that's what I meant to
Sure,
say.
sure. But what I'm saying is, though, is you would have to apply that standard to every other ancient person who did a miracle. Almost every single emperor of Rome did a miracle. Are you going to apply that same standard? Because we have books about them. We have people claiming that about them.
How old are they? Can you
What do
give
you mean,
me
how old are?
like a book or and
Oh,
how
I mean,
old it
yeah, I
is
mean, read,
that says that somebody else
read the
did
lives of the,
something like
yeah,
this?
read Plutarch, the lives of the Caesars. He gives the example of Vespasian rubbing mud on a blind man's eye and spitting on it, and then the guy becoming well again. You can read about Tiberius healing a man with broken legs. The man couldn't walk and was paralyzed, and Tiberius stepped on his legs, and the man could walk again.
Did you say lies of Caesar? Is that what you said?
Lives. The
Lies.
lives of the Caesars.
Sorry.
Plutarch. You can read that. You can go back to ancient Greece. Read the works of Herodotus, and he'll tell you about Zeus doing miracles. He'll tell you about Zeus impregnating virgins, and these virgins give birth to Hercules.
Are these after Jesus or are these like
No, way before.
way before?
I mean, the Herodotus is about 400 years before. Vespasian is only about, I don't know, what, 20, 30
So
years after
Herodotus is
Jesus.
like 400 BCE.
Yeah, during the Peloponnesian War, so that would have been about what, 380 something, 380 BC.
What about Lives of Caesar?
That was Plutarch. That would be in about 60 to 70 AD, so only about 30 or 40 years after Jesus.
So that was after Jesus, the Lives of Caesar.
Yes, but Jesus would not have been.
Was before. Is that what you said? Herodotus.
Yes, Herodotus was Greek, by the way. I mean, he was
Okay.
Greek, so I mean, but I mean, read any of the ancient. I mean, the Alexander the Great was also thought to have miracles. I mean, but he was definitely not God or anything. But he was thought to be a living God.
He was thought to be a living god.
Yeah, I mean that's not anything new. I mean, Alexander was for a long time thought to be a favorite god.
Huh. I'm sorry, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean that's not new.
I knew that he conquered a lot, right? But
yes, he conquered, but he was claimed to be a god. So I mean, all I'm saying is that Parker brought this point up to you, and I'll bring it back to Parker, then I'll help out. Is that you're citing ancient people, right, who make this claim about Jesus? The problem is Parker can do this. I mean, he can look it up, but I can give you
Have you
equal.
heard of like Daniel 8:5 talking about Alexander, or people suspect that he's talking about Alexander? 8:5 to 8 and 21 to 22.
All right.
They suspect
I'll go out on a limb here
doesn't
and
say
I'll
it's
look.
Alexander, but they suspect.
As I was watching, a male goat appeared from the west, coming across the face of the whole earth without touching the ground. The goat had a horn between its eyes. Okay, I mean I'm assuming that you're saying that that might be a prophecy about Alexander.
That they
Daniel would have been written.
Alexander.
That's possible, I guess. That's Daniel. What? That's Daniel. That's
Alexander was briefly mentioned in the first book of Maccabees. However, the name Alexander or Alexander the Great, referring to the Macedonian king, never appears in the Bible.
Okay. Well, we got a problem here then. Okay. Book of Daniel was written about
Daniel 8:5 to 8
Okay,
and
all right.
22,
Well,
21 to
now
22.
now I know how to do this. So look at the when Daniel was written. Daniel was written about in the 2nd century BCE. So 2nd century. Alexander the Great lived in the 3rd century BCE.
Daniel's
So
Old Testament, was
Yes.
Daniel found in the Red Sea Scrolls? The Red
the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Sea Scrolls.
Yes. But the Dead Sea Scrolls
Adam, thank you for the subscription. I appreciate it.
are from the 2 to 100 BCE. So still
3rd
not.
century BCE to 1st century CE.
Depending on which one you date, yes.
Yeah.
But the Daniel scroll, I think, comes to about the early 2nd century, which still, by the way, subsequent to Alexander the Great. Look at when Daniel was written. It was written in about the second. Alexander preceded Daniel by about 100 years, so there's no way that that this could be about Alexander. This is clearly a people reading into it, I think. But I'm not a Daniel scholar. I don't know. I mean, I would say that's just my
the book of
reading
Daniel
of
is
it.
a 2nd century BC biblical apocalypse with a 6th century BC setting.
Yeah, and Alexander the Great lived from 380 to like 350 something. So that's about 100 years prior. So there's no way that they can be talking about it when he literally existed 100 years prior.
All right. Okay. Can we?
Yeah, right? Okay.
I was like, I think the Chaz
So
left
2nd
us
century
like a while ago.
100 AD, and then so you
I left. Do what?
2nd century is 100 AD.
Yes. Okay, so yes, and so Alexander the Great would have been the 4th century, so 380 to about 350 something. So yeah. Okay, Parker, I'm gonna go. Thanks for having me on, dude.
Appreciate it, man.
Bye. Of course. Have a good one.
So wouldn't Daniel be older if it was the 2nd century and Alexander was the 4th?
I don't know.
You don't know. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go on to the next person. But I do appreciate you coming up. Thank
All
you
right,
so much.
Can I say one thing?
For sure.
Jesus loves all y'all, no matter what. Okay?
For sure.
Bye.
Appreciate it. All right, let's go on to the next individual. Please only send a guest request. If you disagree, we are just looking for some debates. People saying debate JD on. I would love to. Okay, it's not accepting this individual. Only send a guest request if you disagree. We are just looking for some debates. Please only send a guest request if you think that being gay is wrong or immoral. Everyone tap that screen. I think we got about, like 50 minutes left in the live. We're going to move over to sub-only chat right now. What's it called? It's the last hour of the live. We always put on sub-only mode for the last hour of the live, y'all. Tomorrow we'll be back probably doing the same topic, to be honest. Because like today we got bananaed so many times where I feel like we didn't even really get to very much. And like we didn't even talk about the topic like at all there. To be honest, we kind of got off. All right, we're gonna try to get this next person up. Please only send a guest request if you disagree. We are just looking for some debates, y'all. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
What's up, buddy? I'm 37. How are you?
For sure. Do you think that being gay is wrong or moral?
I mean, we all have our choices. It's kind
What
of
does natural mean?
Well, so like, what's the whole point if a man's designed to be with a woman?
Is oral sex not natural?
Of course it is.
Well, that doesn't lead to reproduction.
Yeah, but I'm just saying between a man and a woman, it's completely natural. So two men aren't meant to be together. It's an exit only. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of
okay. So you're just saying it's an exit only, right? Can you give me
so
any
what's
reason
the
to
point
believe
of a
that?
man to lay with a man when a woman is built for that?
A woman is built for that. A woman isn't just built to engage in intercourse,
to reproduce children.
Yeah, that is so. Yeah, I think it is
It's
the
not
case.
even an argument.
Yeah, so I think it is the case that that we are beings outside of the context of just our reproductive organs. I don't think that we're created just to reproduce. I don't think that we were created like for particular reasons. I just think that we happen to exist, and then we derive things about what we should do or what is supposed to be the case based upon our own like intuitions and desires.
Well, think about our instincts, right? You see someone's attractive. Most men think, we go a little further than most women. We're more aggressive, hence why we have testosterone and small amounts of estrogen, and women are different. So men can look at a woman consciously and say, oh, that's a beautiful woman, I'd love to sleep with her. But subconsciously, he could be looking at her from a different mindset, saying genetically she's a match and I want to reproduce with her without even thinking that, just from our animal instincts. When you see, two men, I'm not, gay, so I don't understand it per se. Some people think people are born that way or it's a choice or this or that. But the thing that really is different for me is humans aren't the only animals that practice that. There's other animals that have been known to.
Very Lizard, I appreciate the subscription. Thank you.
Which makes it a little more,
Yeah, there's other animals that engage in gay intercourse as well.
Yeah, so that's the point where it's like, all right, are they doing it because they don't know any better, or are they doing it just for the hell of it? You know what I mean? Because how many animals
or
actually...
maybe because that's what they're attracted to. So, again, so do you think it's a choice to be gay?
You make a choice to do everything, right? As animals or human beings, we have instincts to eat and survive and do certain things. So it's kind of down to the individual. Supposedly, if you're going to look at the Bible and look at certain things, it's supposed to be a sin, correct?
So do you hold to the Bible?
I've been learning it and studying it. Obviously, it's
do you believe in Christianity?
Here's the thing about religions, though. There's so many of them, and everybody claims to be right. So how does it work?
Can you, you're kind of touching your mic every 2 seconds, man. It's like a...
Touching my mic?
Yeah, you're good now.
Oh.
Yeah, so what'd you say?
I'm saying, say there's 1,000 different religions out there. Everybody claims that their religion's the one. They all can't be right, so therefore most of them are all wrong. I think the Bible per se is written in a way to live a righteous life and a better life. It's more of a guide. You can't just read something and say everything's accurate. It's not possible. Just like the stories earlier when people are thinking, hey, Adam and Eve. It's a story. How do they know they're the first people to exist? Did God tell everybody they existed and wrote everything down? I have my own beliefs and spiritual. You can't create nothing out of nothing. Therefore, you see design and patterns and everything. You look at the stars, you look at our eyes, you look at trees, our circulatory system. So you see patterns.
But you're not giving me any reason to believe that engaging in gay intercourse is wrong. So you're just relating to the idea that it doesn't lead to reproduction. Well, oral sex does not lead to reproduction, yet you don't consider that to be wrong. Okay, he just got removed for community guidelines. Only send a guest request if you disagree. We are just looking for some debates. Please only send a guest request if you disagree, y'all. We are just looking for some debates. Tap that screen. Let's try to get to 500,000 likes. We got like 45 minutes left on the live, y'all. For a bit longer, I'm guessing.
Issue. I would think it's a mental issue.
What makes you think it's a mental issue?
Because I feel like, when they say that being gay is not a choice, I believe that it is not a choice. I had a gay friend before, and he was a very strong Christian. He actually used to pray to God and ask God, God, why did you make me this way? Why did you make me gay? So I think, mentally it's like, it's a problem somewhere in the brain. Well, that's what I think. But then at the same time, you think that people say that is wrong because it's not normal. But then you have to ask, what is normal these days? society has put it in a way that it's wrong because, again, with Christianity, that's what we're told. That's what we.
So why do you think it's wrong?
I just feel it's a problem. It's a mental problem. That's what I feel.
Yeah. So what makes you think it's a mental problem?
That's actually quite a hard question. But just the fact that it's not a choice. Well, I don't believe it's a choice. Yeah, it's not a choice.
Okay, but being straight is also... Oh, they just left. Being straight is not a choice, but that doesn't mean that it's wrong. It didn't say she left or that she got kicked. I think maybe she just got guidelined, but it didn't tell me yet. So we're going to go to the next individual. Please only do send a guest request if you disagree, everyone. We are just looking for some debates. Okay, didn't accept that person. Let me try the next. Again, everyone, please only do send a guest request if you think that being gay is wrong or immoral. If you want to support me, Venmo, Cash App in the bio, everyone. Yelitsa, how old are you?
23.
For sure. Do you think that being gay is wrong or immoral?
Absolutely. I don't think that it's wrong. I think that it's completely normal. I mean, people
Sure. I am just looking for people who disagree, but I do appreciate you coming up. Thank you so much. Let's go to the next individual. Please only send a guest request if you disagree. Again, everyone, we are just looking for some debates. Please only send a guest request if you do disagree. Okay, it's not accepting this individual. Let me try the next. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
30 years old, brother.
For sure. Do you think that being gay is wrong or immoral?
Yes, sir, indeed I do.
Why so?
It's just wrong, brother. Just devalues the man and just teaches wrong traits to the young folks. You know what I mean? But Parker, I want to tell you one thing, brother. We love you, man. We appreciate what you do, and God loves you. And you look tired. You look stressed out, brother, but we love you, man.
The bags under my eyes, they're genetic.
Yeah, we understand, brother. It's okay. We love you, though, man. God loves you.
I've had them since I was a kid. Now, can you give me an actual argument?
Yeah. Just being gay is wrong, brother.
Yeah, that's not an argument.
It's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. You know it's wrong.
And that's what a kindergartner says. Can you give me something more complex?
You're gay, and it's okay, and we love you, brother. It's okay.
Can you give me an actual argument?
I just think it's moralistically wrong. I think that
moralistically, like you're not giving any argument. You're just saying you think it's wrong.
Yeah, I believe it's wrong. That's what I believe in. I believe it's wrong. Why is it wrong?
And you have an argument.
It devalues the man. It devalues men.
How does it devalue men?
Because it shows children and young people that two men can
be together. So why is that wrong? That doesn't tell me why it's wrong. That's circular.
It's wrong, brother.
Why is it wrong? You're gibberating right now. Please give me an argument.
Parker, you do the same shit all the time, brother. I think you're gay, and we love you, brother. God loves you, and we love you, man. It's okay.
Give me an actual argument.
You're gay, and it's okay, It's just wrong, brother.
Is that supposed to be like an insult or something?
No. I just want to let you know that we love you, brother.
Then can you give me an argument, please?
It's wrong, Parker. It's wrong. It's wrong because it's not right. And what you want me to do is bring the Bible into it and make it a
You're
big
saying
debate.
It's not right. Just because something's not right doesn't mean it's wrong, right?
Well,
you do believe in the Bible, right?
I believe, well, not to say the truth.
Surprise.
You know what's crazy? I believe, and it's crazy. I'll be completely honest, and I'll stop bullshitting with you. I got saved, and I changed my life. I was at the point of, suicide, depression, alcoholism, and drugs. And I'm not too much into the Bible due to the fact that there's so many versions of it, and so many people have manipulated the Bible. But I have a great relationship with God and my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And honestly, I didn't believe back in the day, Parker. I was the same as everybody else. I thought that, it was just a fairy tale story. And I was lost in depression, brother. And I was lost in alcoholism and drugs. And I came from the streets and I didn't have anything. And as soon as I gave my life to God, it changed my life. And now I don't feel depressed. I don't feel lonely. I feel good. I wake up and I pray and I meditate and I become one with myself. I found out who I truly was, and it was amazing.
Yeah, I appreciate the subscription. Thank you so much. So you can find out who you truly are, but that's just you changing your own priorities. That's you changing your own internal disciplines. It's not a God giving you any type of influence there. That's completely you.
It brought peace to my heart knowing that God was there.
Yeah. Do you know what placebo is?
I know that gay is wrong. That's what I know. And
No,
I
no, no.
know,
Do
I know
you,
what
do you
you're
know what
saying.
placebo is?
I know what you're trying to say. And I know you're trying to say that it was me, myself, and I that changed myself. And it's okay to not believe in God. I completely understand, you know, and you can be who you want to be. And you know, the only thing, Parker, is that you're such a creative young man, and you do these things that you do on TikTok, and you never switch up the damn topic, you know. And I know that you can do you have such a charisma about yourself, and you can do great things in this world if you actually applied, you know, and did something a little different, you know. Look at these things. Look at these guys. There, you switch it up, my brother. Look at these horrible debates. We love you, man. And I think that you're an amazing human being, brother. And I just want you, you know, to know that God loves you. And we believe in you, brother. We believe in you. And I know that you're an amazing human being, and you will find your way. And it's all in due time, you know, but you're amazing, brother. The girls are saying I'm saying nothing. It's okay. But you're amazing. And we love you. And gays being wrong, it's wrong, but it's all right. You know? We love you, man.
I don't do any other topics. Did you not see behind me what I just showed?
I know, but it's like, look at the topics you're talking about. But you should be talking about how can
Appreciate
we
the subscription. Thank you so much.
Develop the youth and create, you know, a positive impact.
You know what you think that you want to talk about right now? Do it. Make a platform. Talk about it.
I think you know, and I've been thinking about it.
Talk about what you want to talk about. That's what I'm doing. I'm talking about things that I want to talk about that I think that influence us in a good way. And I've happened to build a platform doing so.
You know why people have horrible feelings about toward this, bro? Like, why are you asking people if being? Why are you asking people if being gay is wrong? Like, that's what creates the division in this world. Like,
because there are lots of people that think it's wrong, and I think that they shouldn't think it's wrong.
So why don't you think it shouldn't be? Well, let me hear your side. Why do you think it's not wrong? I want to hear from you.
Well, because there's no reason that I should consider a consenting adult relationship between two adults to be wrong, right? I see no reason to consider that to be wrong. That's simply it.
That's simply it. That's your answer to everything.
Yeah, because like when I'm saying it's morally neutral, that's going to mean that I don't have a judgment that it's right nor that's wrong, right? So then there would be no reason for me to elaborate upon the judgment that I had because I lack a judgment in this scenario. Sarah, I appreciate the subscription. Thank you so much. I think that it doesn't relate to morality. So there's no judgment for me to elaborate upon.
Right. Well, I respect your opinion, brother. And I hope you and your family have a wonderful Christmas. And, I think you're an amazing human being, brother, and you deserve the best. And I think you can really go out there and do something in the world. And I hope God's always with you. And
I think you should critique your position.
I will, and I think in the right time it'll happen,
But you're just not open to do that now?
No, not right now. I think I'm all right, But God bless you, my brother.
All right, peace out.
God bless. Merry Christmas. Hallelujah.
Merry Christmas. Thank you for the subscription. I appreciate it, Caitlin. Thank you so much. I appreciate the subscription. We're going to go on to the next individual. Please only send a guest request if you disagree. Tap that screen. Let's try to run out to 500,000 likes. We're going to be on for another 35 minutes, everyone. What's up? How old are you? How old are you?
58.
For sure. Do you think that being gay is wrong or immoral?
Well, I'm not sure that it's wrong or immoral, but I want you to tell me why you think it's right.
I don't think it's right or wrong. I think it's morally neutral. So think straight.
See, here's the way I look at it. I never really grew up with people that were gay or either that they were in the closet, if you will. They just didn't come out. However, my niece came out when she was about 18. And
yeah, but you don't think it's wrong?
Do what now?
So you don't think it's wrong?
I don't know that it's right. Okay, but
I don't think it's right or wrong to be gay or straight, right? Neither or I would say is right or wrong, right? But as long as you don't think it's wrong, I don't have an issue with your view. Appreciate the subscription. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and what I was gonna say, I think when people start changing their sexual orientation with, if you will, with surgery.
I don't think you can change your sexual orientation.
Well,
and surgeries wouldn't change your sexual orientation.
Well, Physically, you would change.
Are you trying to talk about people transitioning in terms of being trans?
Correct.
Okay, so you haven't. Why do you have an issue with trans people? But like that's also not related to the topic.
Well, we'll get back to the topic then. Here's what I think about gay people. Do I think it's wrong? It's not normal. Okay. If you look at the amount of people in the world and you look at the amount of gay people, it's definitely a minority group.
The same thing with white people.
Correct. I think, yeah, but on a much bigger level as far as a percentage goes.
Yeah, but like white people are a minority in the world.
Well, it depends on where you live.
Does that mean anything about being white?
It depends on where you live, Parker. In my town that I live in, white people are not the minority.
Okay, but we're talking about globally.
Okay, well, globally, I don't know what the numbers are. Okay,
globally, white people are a minority.
Well, I would sure think so with Asia and India and all the other countries that are highly populated. But where I'm going with this, I think any person, no matter what their orientation is, if you're really talking about love and it's the niece of mine, I'm not going to change how I love my niece because she's gay. Okay? I'm not going to do that. I mean, do I disagree with it? I do disagree with it.
Ooh, what do you mean by you disagree with it?
I just don't think it's morally right for a man to, or, two women to be connected to each other just like I do.
But do you believe it to be morally wrong?
That's where I have a problem with it. Okay? I don't know that it's morally wrong. Here's what I think. We all are human beings, so you can actually have a choice to be who you want to be and do what you want to do. I mean, that's why we live in America. So I'm not saying that it's, I guess I'm neutral, Parker. So maybe I shouldn't even have came on this live.
Right, I appreciate you coming on, man. I'm just glad to facilitate that. Appreciate it. Have a good day, man. Hey, W's in the chat. W's in the chat, everyone. Tap that screen. Let's get to 500,000 likes. We got another 30 or something minutes left on the live. Everyone, I do appreciate everyone coming on so far. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Okay, this person is not there. We're gonna go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you disagree. If you like my content, follow me if you haven't already. Everyone, we're so close to 400,000 followers. Everyone, we're so close to 400,000. If you want to help us out, everyone, if you want to help us out, make sure to follow if you have not already. It definitely helps out. Y'all. As well, if you want to support me, Venmo and Cash App in the bio, y'all. Let's go on to the next individual quick. Please only send a guest request if you do disagree. We are just looking for some debates, y'all. We are at 391.4, chat. We're at 391.4. If y'all all follow right now, 391.5. We can easily get up there very, very quickly. If I say it a few more times, everyone follows, I'm just kidding. No, everyone's not going to follow, but I do appreciate all the follows, everyone. I do appreciate it. Because I do go live every day. You can always come through. We do a bunch of different topics. So I appreciate the subscription. Thank you so much. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Yeah, I'm 47.
For sure. Do you think that being gay is wrong or immoral?
Well, I don't think your issue is whether it's gay or not, because you come up with several different issues, and your issue is really, well, do you think something's wrong? Whether it's being gay, whether it's Jesus being Satan, doesn't matter what it is. But as long as you have a debate and you have more followers and you create more income, that's just your end rule. So, because
I've been doing this topic before it got people in here. I've been doing debates before there was even a basis to make any type of money.
Right, but if you're
for years before.
But if you're going to debate anything, you need a standard. You need justification.
Yeah. So, again, but do you think it's wrong? That's my question.
I do believe yes.
Yeah. So why do you think it's wrong?
Morally wrong.
And why so?
Each person was created to procreate.
Each person was created to procreate. Is it wrong to be celibate?
No, it's not.
Okay, no, but that doesn't lead to procreation.
I'm sorry?
That doesn't lead to procreation, though.
Well, I mean, two were made to procreate. A woman and a man. That's what was made. It wasn't two men.
Made to procreate. Are you presupposing a notion of a God here?
Well, justification is we have to find the standard. And what is the standard? It's not
Are you presupposing a notion of a God?
I'm sorry?
Are you presupposing the notion of a God here? I feel like you are.
Well, we all have to have a standard. What you believe as a standard doesn't necessarily make it that true, because truth is not relative. Just because you
It's true under my view. Yeah, it absolutely is. As it relates to morality, I do believe morality is subjective.
Well, morality is only based on your opinion because you're not the person to base it, because you can't justify. You're not a perfect person, and neither am I.
I never said that
only one thing that's
I'm
divisible
perfect.
that's
But
perfect. There's only one.
I never said that I was perfect. But what I can say is that my view is going to be predicated off of my own position or my own
your
stance.
view's only based on your opinion. It's not the standard.
Yeah, that is the standard for myself.
For yourself.
Absolutely.
For you and your followers. And Parker, again, you are a great person. You do debate well. But at the end, you're trying to build a more secure.
I appreciate the subscription. Thank you.
Relative. For instance, that's just my point. Your point in the end.
I have subscriptions. Wow, terrible person.
More money.
Wow, I have subs. Terrible person. Wow. I make an income. Terrible person. Wow.
No, now, did I say that? I never said that.
Would you go up to someone in the news and be like, "You're making money off of social issues"?
I make more money than you. I guarantee it. But I'm not here to tell everybody that.
Oh, do I tell people I make money? Like, do you know how much money I make?
Of course I don't.
Exactly.
But
so then, what are you saying?
You interrupt the conversation just to tell somebody thank you for prescribing.
Wait, and actually, you just did. You actually just did. Burpin, I appreciate the subscription. You just said you make more money than me. So prove it. How much money do you make?
It's a relative.
No, it's not. Just tell me how much money do you make. You said you make more.
It doesn't matter. I don't have to tell you how much money I make.
Wait, you said you make more.
Your debate is your opinion on.
You
what's
said
right
you make
and wrong.
more. I will tell you. I will tell you.
Right and wrong.
I will tell you
You're
more
not
or
the person
less.
to do that.
What's up?
You're not the person to do that.
Planner,
So who
appreciate the
is?
subscription. What do you mean I'm not the person to do that?
You're not the person to justify what's right and wrong. You're not.
Under my own view, I am the one that justifies what's right and wrong.
No, you can't. You're not perfect. How can you?
I'm
You
not
just
perfect,
said you
but I
weren't.
still justify what's right and wrong under my own view, right? That would be
But
what
your
my own
view's
view
not
is.
right
And then
because
I'll
you're
give
not
you different
perfect. So how can
reasons.
you justify it?
What when
How
you
can
say
you
my view
justify
isn't right, are you just saying that you disagree with me?
Of course I do.
Oh, okay. If you're just saying that you disagree with me, sure, you might disagree with me, but my
Okay.
view is still built upon my own stance.
Only because of one thing, Parker, and that's because you have free will.
Yeah,
That's the only
absolutely,
reason
man.
why.
Absolutely.
And your free will, your free will,
Yeah, and
your
that free will is
consequences-
contingent upon your God not existing.
Right? No, I didn't say nothing about God. I said your free will and your decisions are never based on your consequences. So you can do whatever you want, but you'll be held accountable for that. Word and deed, whether you believe
Held
it or
accountable by who?
Hey, that's up to you, right? I'm not debating that. We're talking about what's right and wrong. What's the
Wait,
state?
you said I'm gonna be held accountable. I'm not asking you just like who's holding me accountable here?
Yes, you're held accountable. Are you not?
By who?
Can you just go out there and do whatever you want to do?
Noah, by who?
Okay,
What
of course
for
you can.
what
There's
I
two
have
things
done in my
wrong.
life? What am
Okay,
I held
you
accountable
can
for?
do two
Please tell
things
me.
wrong. You can do things submittedly wrong, and you can do
No,
things
what did I do that was
submittedly
wrong that I'm gonna be held accountable for, Noah?
You will be held accountable. Okay. For instance, let's just say you get in your car. Do you wear your seatbelt every time?
Yes.
Every time.
Yeah.
Okay.
I literally do. Yes.
Believe that. Okay, well, you do things wrong submittedly. You do things that you know you shouldn't.
Can we get a
do.
W
all do
seatbelt in the
that.
chat?
Do we
Can we get a
not?
W seatbelt?
Do we not?
I even
Okay,
sit with my
you
seatbelt just in the car
admittedly do
typically
things
because I like how
wrong that
secure
you
it
don't
feels.
know that are wrong, and you still do them.
What's up?
You admittedly do things wrong. And
What?
you may
When?
not even
When did I
realize
do something that
you're
was
doing
wrong?
it.
Tell me.
So I can't tell you what you do wrong. You know that.
Okay, so then what did I do?
Okay, I don't have to tell you. I know you're not a perfect person. No one is.
Well, prove it.
So
Prove
it
it.
doesn't have to be proven.
No,
Everybody
give
knows
me
that.
reason to believe.
Okay, anybody that says they're perfect, please note it right now. Can anybody honestly say that they're perfect?
Well, can you?
No, you can't.
Well,
You
Jesus
can't
did, didn't he?
justify.
Wait,
You're
you're
not
saying that? Wait, you believe in Jesus, right?
Of course I do.
I knew it. So like he claims that he's perfect. What's the difference between him claiming that he's perfect and me claiming that I'm perfect? That means that he's perfect, but I'm not.
Well, that's the standard. You have to.
Wait, I'm the standard. Wait, buddy, I could just say I'm the standard.
No, your opinion of the standard. You
No,
can't
I am the
justify. You're not a
standard, buddy.
perfect person. So you can't say whether something's right or wrong. It doesn't matter the subject.
I just did.
No, you can turn from the truth all you want, but it doesn't change it.
Wait, I'm not turning from any truth here. What truth
Sure
am I
you
turning
are.
from?
You know you are.
Says the one who believes
If you
in.
can turn it enough and debate enough to somebody who's ignorant, which I've heard several people, because ignorance is no excuse.
Yeah, which I'm doing right now. So
you'll
Noah,
debate people constantly who are ignorant, who can't really get out the whole conversation.
Exactly my
Not
point.
Quite sure how they can tell you their
example
truth
A.
or their opinion.
Example A.
I've heard several.
Example
of them.
A.
I've heard several of them.
Example A.
They're right. They just can't get it all.
Example A.
And guess what? Nobody can get it all right.
Figure 1.
Neither can you. You
Just
are.
look at the
figure one.
appendix. Figure 1.
Sure. The only thing that's right and that can be justified is love, because it keeps no record of wrong. Truth or not?
Say that one more time.
The only thing that's perfect and right is love, because it keeps no record of wrong. Truth or not? You can divide that amongst anything.
No, I think that someone who truly loves you does hold on. Someone that truly does bro, come on. Someone that truly does love you will absolutely have a standard that's conditional, right? These are just boundaries. Boundaries are a good thing, right?
Exactly. And
boundaries are conditions for relationships.
Inside of the fence, not outside of it, because rules and regulations only govern and regulate.
Adam, I appreciate the subscription. Thank you so much. I don't see what your point is, though. Like, can you give me a reason?
I just told you my point. Rules and regulations only govern and regulate. They don't justify.
Yeah. So okay. So then, are you telling me that God's rules are not justified?
I say nothing about God. Did I? I said
how is the justification of God's view any different than the justification? How is the justification of God's view any different from the justification of my view?
What does God's view have to do anything about that? Why
because that's what you consider to be justified.
I didn't say anything about God.
You know what? That's what you consider.
My belief, in my opinion.
I understand that. That's exactly what I'm bringing up. That's what you. That's what you consider to be justified. So obviously, I'm gonna please stop talking. Please stop talking, Noah. So I'm gonna relate to what you consider to be justified in order to be able to show you some type of justification.
Right. Justification is not opinion related. It's not relative. There's a standard.
Wait,
you have to follow it. And regardless whether you follow it or not.
Appreciate the description. Thank you so much.
You still set a standard for yourself, and you worship, whether you worship being gay or you worship being celibate or you worship being heterosexual, whatever it is you do.
I'm not worshiping being straight.
Sure you do. That's what you...
What?
That's what you agree to.
Wait, no. Describe to me how I'm worshiping being straight.
You to be gay. I don't know you to be
Tell me how I'm worshiping being straight.
To
the straight gods. Thank you, please. Worship. Straights. To the straights.
You worship everything.
Like, dude, what are you talking about, bro?
Everything is followed in a worship. Everything you do. So your yeses are yeses and your noes are noes. So you can debate it all day long. You can pull people on here all day long. Like the other guy said, look, I'm not here to judge you. I love you. You are a great person. You do great things. So, and sure, we all want you to debate what's true and what's right. We can't make you do that. And the whole reason why you can't be made to do it is for free will. What purpose would it be if I made you love a man and you were heterosexual? Would that make that right?
Well, isn't that kind of what your God is doing by threatening him?
No, God's allowing you free will. God's not.
What is hell?
Anything you don't want to do.
Noah, what is hell?
You want to do, but you don't control the consequences to what you do.
Hey, Noah, what is hell?
What is hell?
Mm-hmm.
Depending on what you're talking about. Are you talking about a location? Are you talking about a life?
No, I'm just. Do you think it's eternal conscious torment?
No.
Well, what is it? What is hell then?
Satan can't do anything without permission, Parker. He has to have permission. And guess what? Tea's not tea unless it's boiled. And the only reason why you're tested or tempted is because you don't know who you are unless you're put in a position that you are tested. Since every grade school, you have to take a test to be promoted. Okay? And guess what? In my life, I've been blessed. I've been totally blessed. Okay? But the realization of giving is more prominent than it is receiving when you realize that the blessing is more about the giving. because more doesn't always create better. And the problem with more is it comes with choices. And when somebody's not mature enough to make the right choice, giving them more is almost the worst thing you could ever do, because they can't say no to the no's and yeses to the yeses. Am I not wrong?
I actually don't know what your point was at the end. So what is
You
hell?
know the point. Anything that's been given to you more.
So you're
More
telling me that
comes
you
with
choose
choices.
hell, but I'm asking what hell is. Like, what is entailed given hell?
Does more not come with more choices?
Does more not come with more choices? I don't know what you're trying to say.
It
More
doesn't
what?
matter what the more is. Money, friends, decisions.
Not
houses,
necessarily. You can make
material
more
value.
choices, and there could be
I have all
not.
the more you can want. I've had 16 houses. I have RVs. I have boats. I have trucks. I have it all, Parker. Material wise.
16.
But does
Oh,
that mean?
wait. So you're really rich.
No, I'm not really rich.
16
Did I say
cars.
that? Did I say I was really rich?
Appreciate the subscription.
Again,
Thank you
you're
so
trying
much.
to debate yourself.
Yeah. Does Jesus call you to hoard your wealth, or would Jesus call you to make sure that other people have food on their table, or to make
But I
sure that
don't
other
let
people
my
have
right
health care,
hand know what my
or to make
left
sure that
hand
their
is
quality of life is maintained to their
I
necessary
don't let my
state?
right hand know what my left hand's doing. There's a reason why I have more. But you don't know those reasons. You can only assume.
There's
You
a
don't know.
reason why
All
you have
know is a
more, so you
conversation over a phone.
deserve stuff when they have none. Under your own view,
Do you know what I do, Parker?
I don't.
Okay, then don't make assumptions that you might think just because I have stuff that I'm a certain person, because you don't know what I do.
Again, so wait, are you giving away all of your money and putting yourself into poverty,
What am I giving
right? Like
away,
Jesus
Parker?
actually calls
Well,
you
what
to.
am I giving away?
No, are you
What am I
calling
giving
yourself
away?
into
Do you know
poverty,
what I'm
like
giving away?
exactly
You
how
don't know
Jesus
what I'm
calls?
giving away. You don't know what I'm giving. There's a reason why I'm blessed. Okay, and it's relative to you, and it doesn't really matter, because the whole point is this gay thing. And it's not really the gay thing; it's the whole issue of being wrong. Is it wrong for this, or is it wrong for that? Well, if you're gonna find out what's wrong, you got to meet the standard and what's justified.
Yeah,
And
and what you
who
consider to
makes
be
that?
justified is based upon your unjustified religion. I don't understand how you don't see that. The irony in that.
So, what is the standard then?
Appreciate the
can
subscription. Thank you so
obviously
much.
say that it's
Because
not
no,
wrong.
you're talking about standards for objective claims, like whether or not there's a God that created the universe, or whether or not
I
that
didn't say
descriptive
nothing
claim.
about God. I
Please,
said
please let me finish. Please let me
justification.
finish. Whether or not that descriptive claim occurred or not. When we're talking about morality, morality is simply describing what our psychological preferences are about what we should or should not do. That's all morality is going to relate to.
Right. And sin exposes that. And that's what we do. We all think we know the right way, but it only leads to the wrong way. And it leads to emptiness. Just like the previous caller. He said, I tried everything. I tried drugs. I tried sex. I tried gay. I tried this. And I tried. None of that made me happy. And it's not ever going to make you happy. And you'll be able to debate forever. And people will pay you to do it because.
Tried gay? Like you can't just try being gay. That
That
doesn't work.
because we
Are
all.
you just saying
we
you
all
engage
have
in
that
anal
dark
intercourse?
I'm sorry?
You can't try being gay. You can engage in anal intercourse, but or like intercourse with someone of the same sex, but you can't like try being gay.
That's your free will. You can try anything.
Oh, okay. Okay. So can you choose to find your mother sexually attractive?
No, because we
No.
all want love at the end of the day, and it has to be chosen. If it's forced, it's not true love.
No. So again, you said you do have the ability to choose your sexual attraction, but you don't have the ability to choose whether or not you find your mother sexually attractive.
Say that again. I do not find my mother sexually attractive. I'm sorry.
Yeah, can you though?
You can do anything you want to do.
You
Parker.
can, Noah.
You can do anything you want.
Okay. So
It's
prove
free
to me
will.
that you can by
You
saying
have-
that by telling me the truth.
allow
So just
yourself-
choose to find your Charlie. I appreciate the subscription. Choose to
Look,
find your mom
everything-
sexually
okay,
attractive, and then just
let
tell
me
me the
ask you
truth real
this.
quick,
Let
and
me
then
ask you
switch
this.
back.
Let me ask you this: does everything start with your eyes?
No, I want you to listen for a second.
Does
Okay,
everything
listen.
start with your eyes?
Hey Noah, please
Answer
listen
me
to my
that.
question. Listen to my question, okay? So, if you can say that you can choose your sexual attraction towards your mother, prove it to me right now by
You can't.
by choosing to do so real quick, and then telling me the truth, and then you can switch back real quick.
You're made to choose. You're built on your own will, your free will. So whether
prove
you're
it.
attractive or not attractive to a certain person, that's your opinion.
Noah, prove it. Prove it.
Because you have to decide that. I can't
Prove it. Prove it. No, I told you how you can prove it right now. Prove it.
Well, how can you prove it? You're not telling me.
Okay, I'll tell you again. The way in which you can prove it is by choosing to find attraction, sexual attraction for your mother,
Exactly.
telling me the truth. Stop talking. Telling me the truth.
Choosing there. Again, going back to free will. So,
Noah, you said it was a choice. Okay? Right? If sexuality is a choice, sexual orientation is a choice, okay? Prove it to me by choosing to find your mother sexually attractive, telling me the truth that you find your mother sexually attractive, and then just switch back so that you don't find her attractive anymore. I'm just asking you to prove it, Noah. Right? Justify your claim. Prove it. Tap that screen, everyone. Let's get to 1 million likes. If you want to support me, Venmo, Cash App, in the bottom. He's still not unmuting. If you want to support me as well, the only way you can gift me is by gifting subs through TikTok. I can't get any gifts otherwise here on TikTok anymore for some reason. I'm trying to get it back. I'm trying to get in contact with a point of contact at TikTok. Yo, Chris, I appreciate the subscription. Thank you very much. You're still muted, Noah. I can't hear you, man. Noah, do you hear me, bro?
yeah, can you hear me? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Did you hear my question?
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. What was your question?
Okay, so you can prove to me that you can choose your sexual orientation or sexual attraction.
Your free will. Your free will is determined by your choice, not mine. So whether you want me to find my mother attractive is not going to happen. It's my choice, and I will decide whether I think that or not. Not for you to debate whether I feel like she's attractive or not.
Okay, Noah, I'm not asking or debating whether or not you find her. I think you need to fucking listen to me, okay? So plug your fucking little mouth real quick, right? And listen to the words that I'm speaking, because that's the third time I've now explained it that you didn't listen to it, Noah. Okay?
Oh, nice.
Would you like me to explain it again?
Okay, let's hear you explain it again.
Okay, you can prove to me that you can choose your sexuality right now by choosing to find your mother sexually attractive, telling me the truth that you find your mother sexually attractive, all right, and then you can just switch back real quick, okay? So prove to me right now that you can choose your sexual orientation. Go for it.
You can, by your free will.
Okay, then do it.
It's your choice, not mine.
No, you have a choice. You said you can choose. Do it. Choose.
I choose for me. I don't choose for you. I'm not accountable for you.
Then choose for yourself right now. Prove it to me that you can choose.
I do. I choose every day.
Okay, then choose right now to find your mother sexually attractive, and then tell me the truth.
Do you not choose to brush your teeth? Do you not choose to get up and get ready and go to work? Do you not choose
to do those things, but I don't choose my sexuality. I didn't choose to find women sexually attractive. I simply just do. Okay? Now, can you please show me that you can choose your sexual attraction by choosing to find your mother sexually attractive, and then just telling me the truth? I appreciate the 9-month subscription. Thank you so much, Velvet.
It's all in how you're raised. If you've been raised that way and your mind has been coerced to choose that particular route, then of course you're going to choose that because you've been trained that way. Everybody's trained. Everybody's raised. Agreed?
Dude, I want you to prove it. Can you prove it, please? Noah, please, just prove it.
You choose your own sexuality.
Noah, can you prove it, please?
Yes, I'm proving it.
Do it right now.
Can you prove it?
Prove it given the standard that I just mentioned.
I'm giving you the standard. It's your free will. That's the standard. The standard.
No, dude, you're not listening, dude. I asked you 4 times, please.
Don't find her sexually attractive. It's not
exactly. So you can't choose.
So
yes, you can't choose. No way, you can't choose.
Sure, I choose not to find her attractive.
No, can you choose right now to do so?
Of course.
Oh wait, so you're withholding your attraction from your mother?
You control your.
You choose to withhold your attraction for your mother?
So you control the actions. Everything starts with your eyes, Parker. Everything. From your eyes to your mind. Everything that you see calculates a thought. Are
you choosing to hold back your sexual attraction for your mother?
So you control the emotion that you control, right? Is even though your thought process may be one way, which is not necessarily the right way, because we all know you're not right. You're not perfect. So you have to emotionally control the wrong and the right because they're both there. But that's your decision. And those things will ultimately create your character and end up in your destiny. So you have to decide that because that's your free will. But you were given free will because of love. Because God don't want you to just come into his life just to take advantage of him. He's no Santa Claus. He's not there to just bless you because you think you deserve a blessing. So he roams the earth looking to find someone to bless. But giving somebody just blessings who can't handle the little bit they got is only going to destroy the person. How many people filed bankruptcy that win the lottery? Do you know?
How many people fought bankruptcy that lots of people fought bankruptcy that won that lottery? I don't know what your point is with that.
Okay, 80%. Because they can't manage the money. They can't manage their life. They can't manage the decisions. The more
What's your point with that though?
Because it comes with more choices. Again, back to free will, right? So the person that has more has to decide more because of the choices that come with more. Do you not agree with that?
I what's the relevance of this claim?
I mean, it starts here and ends up there. Does it not?
What
It starts with decision making. Does it not?
What starts with decision making?
Everything. Everything starts with decision.
No.
Yes, the very first thing you do when you get up is you open your eyes. Everything starts with your
how about
eyes.
this?
Everything.
Okay.
Do you not agree? Truth or not?
For me, there would be decisions that relate to there, right? But if we're talking about everything in general,
do you not agree with me there?
Noah, please be fucking quiet, okay? If we're talking about prior to all,
don't disrespect me. I don't disrespect you. Don't disrespect.
Cry about it, Noah, please.
Okay.
You're constantly interrupting me. That's fucking rude. Is that not rude?
Okay. Do you not do the same for me?
You're definitely interrupting more than I am.
I don't think I agree with that, but go ahead.
Yeah. So I actually kind of forgot that. I don't know. I don't even remember what I was gonna say, to be honest with you. You can say what you're gonna say.
Well, again, everything starts with your eyes. From the moment you wake up, it's the very first thing you do every single day. I don't care what it is, it starts with your eyes. Whether it's another man you looked at, whether it's another girl you looked at. You saw that person, that job application. You saw that job, that career, that sports, that whatever it is, whatever your eyes go turns your mind to that direction. Do you not agree?
I don't. What? Okay, please say that again. I didn't get it.
Everything starts with your eyes. I don't care what it is.
Not if you're blind.
Well, yes, even, okay, you're not necessarily, if you're in that predicament, which of course you're trying to debate something that majority of the people aren't. I mean, come on. Everything starts with your eyes. Do you not agree?
For me, sure.
Sure. For you and me both, and probably 99, I have a niece who's blind. Okay, had to go to school at St. Augustine to train to how to live as a blind person. There are exceptions, right? We know that. We all know that. But it doesn't matter what it is. It starts with your eyes, Parker. From the moment you wake up, okay?
Now, can you please make the point?
Okay, the point is, from that point of your mind or your eyes, everything you see calculates a thought. Does it not?
Wait, sorry. Say that one more time.
Everything you see
calculates a thought. Well, okay. Well, what's the point of this, dude? I'm like, we're in the Appalachian Mountains right now.
Nothing starts from beginning to end. I mean, it starts beginning, and it takes a process, does it?
Sure.
It doesn't matter what you do, Parker. You have to train. I don't care if it's debates. I don't care if it's a sport. I don't care if it's a job. Nobody comes out batting 1,000. We all have to find the truth. And it's not relative. It's like the sun. It always shines. The only reason why we have night, Parker, is because the earth moves, not because the sun quit shining. Truth?
Can you please just actually make the point? I just want you to make the point. Stop asking me all these random ass claims.
Okay,
please just make the point. I'm actually serious, man.
From mind to heart, everything from your mind calculates an emotion, right? So if we see somebody speaking rude to us or yelling at us, right? Everything's divisional. right? I don't care what it is. If I come up there to shake your hand, what are you going to do? You shake it back. If I go up there to hug you, what are you going to do? You're going to hug me back, right? If somebody yells at me, what does most people do? They yell back, right? Because that emotion turns that thought into something they don't appreciate. So they generally reciprocate the same thing, right? So everything from the mind creates emotion. That emotion, if controlled, and a mature person who would always turn to love because it's always right. It keeps no record of wrong. So it controls every emotion, every factor in every life. It makes everything perfect. But we don't always do that because you don't love me right now. Or you wouldn't cuss at me. You wouldn't debate with me. You wouldn't disrespect me. Right now, it's your will and your choice because I'm on your platform and I'm stepping into your area of life, which you don't necessarily like because it affects your monetary value.
Shannon, thank you for the dollar. How am I'm not liking talking to you because it affects my monetary value? What?
Well, sure, because you would take even a split second to ignore me for a minute just to thank somebody for a subscription that they just had when we're trying to figure out what's really wrong in life for you and everybody.
Wow, I said thank you to someone. Holy fuck, dude. Wow, dude. Parker is such a terrible person. He said thank you to someone that literally fucking gave him money. Wow. Wow. He was thankful. He was gracious. Wow. What a fucking person.
Right. I never said you were a bad person. I never said that it was terrible. I never said anything.
You were trying to make like a complaint about me literally just saying thank you.
You made the decision to say all those things. I would not talk to you that way. I don't have to talk to you that way.
Come on, bro.
So, and again, but I'm just trying to make a point. Again, I've said it time again.
Was he not gaslighting?
We all love you. We don't hate you. We enjoy listening to you because you do debate well. So, and most people won't be able to give you an argument like I can because they don't necessarily know the standard or the justification or the truth. Well, they do, and they have found it. So, in their opinion, and in my opinion, maybe not in yours.
Mary, thank you for the $10 on Cash App. I appreciate it.
So, but again, I mean, this is and again, eyes, mind, heart, every emotion comes out with a word. So every word spoken, which is accountable for, deed and word, right? Every word creates a character, and a character ultimately creates a destiny, period. So, and those are all based on free will and your choice. Whether you yell and cuss at me, whether you say I'm a terrible person, or you say that I say that you're a terrible person, which I haven't. So, which is bad because when you speak into people. And that's the problem. Because here's the thing. Tonight, people are going to think about what I'm telling you because they know I'm right. So you can't conflict with the spirit. You have
Daisies, I appreciate the dollar. Thank you so much.
Control over your spirit. Okay, God does. Your spirit lives forever.
Yeah, so God's causing me to sin?
No, God, I never said God was. Again,
You said he has control over my spirit.
I said he called, right, and your flesh sins, not your spirit. Did I say that?
What controls my free will?
You control that. Your flesh does.
Not my spirit?
No.
Ashley, I appreciate the $5. Thank you so much.
No.
John, I appreciate the $4. Thank you. Okay, I don't know what your point is then.
Okay, well, you're made up of
Daisies. Thank you for the dollar. Appreciate it.
Body, spirit, and soul. Those things are all three different things.
Halvey, thank you for the $4.
So, because God's not in the games. He's not about saving people and losing people. Saving people and losing people. God's not in the games. He says, what I have, I keep, and I don't lose, is what he said.
Pushing Daisies, thank you for the dollar. I appreciate it. So you're just saying God doesn't lose things? I really still don't know what your point is. Can you justify to me that your God exists?
By history itself. It's been
within history.
We all live by history, do we not? Because history repeats itself and we learn
Pushing
from
Daisies, thank you for the dollar.
The things that you did yesterday that you knew you shouldn't do, you do the same thing the next day? Or do you learn from those things?
I'll typically learn, right?
Okay, we all typically learn.
Depending on whether or not I think I did something bad. Pusha Daisy, thank you for the $1.
We're here to learn. So what are we here to learn? Well, that's desires upon us, whether it's
Sarah, thank you for the $4.20.
Desire to learn.
Wait, why is learning on Earth necessary?
Of course, you have to learn. You're going to be the same person?
No. My point is that all this knowledge that we had to accrue is something that we could have just had from the very beginning, like innate knowledge. The same way that God, Kathleen, thank you for the $20. I appreciate it on Cash App. Thank you so much. The same way that God writes knowledge of morality into our hearts, or that God has innate knowledge, right, about different things. Elizabeth, thank you for the $6.66. Pushing Daisies, thank you for the $5. Thank you for the sub as well.
Everything who can't handle a little thing would be the most worst thing.
What do you mean?
Giving somebody everything who can't handle the little things would be the worst thing. You have to learn. You have to manage.
No, they can handle the worst things if they have the knowledge. Gail, I appreciate the $1. Hello, thank you for the $1.
I told my son the other day, I said, listen, I don't care what you do with your life. It's your choice, but I'm here to support you. And he said, Dad, I don't necessarily want to run your business. And I said, that's fine, because it comes with a lot of work. It comes with a lot of responsibility. There's a reason why I have these things, Parker, because it comes with a lot of work. It comes with a lot of responsibility, and you have to manage it. I've helped several people start other businesses. They couldn't manage it. They thought, oh, well, I made $10,000 this week, so I could live like that. Guess what? They lost it all. And I've even told my son, I said, I've learned in life, because I've tried to help people to be where I'm at today. But I'm not a codependent. I'm not going to give it to you. You got to get out there and earn it for yourself. And I'll help you get there. But you got to be able to manage it a little bit, so that when you're in a time that you can't manage, really hold what you have the securities to do that. So life's all about managing the responsibilities of the decisions you make. And you'll be accountable for those. Every decision you make, every word, every deed, you'll be responsible for. You'll be accountable for. So, but that's your choice. And again, we love you. We appreciate you. You're a good man. We love what you do, or we wouldn't be on here, right? You wouldn't have the followers. There's a reason. There's a reason for all of it. And when that all comes about, we'll all know.
I think that just people engaging specifically, like with me. Lizard, I appreciate the $2. Thank you so much. I don't know why you're assuming all of these like negative intentions as it relates to this. Lots of people do this. You're not the first one to do this. I just think that there's not good reason to believe this to be true, because I've been doing this for very long. Spectral, I appreciate the subscription. Thank you. As well, Nika, I appreciate the $5. Thank you so much. Lauren, thank you for the $5 as well.
So we appreciate you.
All right, man.
We appreciate you. Again, at the end of the day, it's justification. It doesn't matter what your debate is. What's the standard? You don't know that.
But clearly the standard would be dependent on my own values, right? And I think that's completely fine for justifying this view.
It's not based on your values, because your values aren't the standard.
Yeah, but by the way, here I don't even relate to, like, when I'm saying that being gay is morally neutral, I'm not even making a claim about morality. So I'm not even talking about my own perspective. All I'm simply saying is that I think that your perspective is false, right? That being gay is wrong, right? Under my own perspective. So I don't even have to relate to my own perspectives about morality in order to say this.
But you are. You just said it yourself. You said, on my own opinion. That's what you just said. How are you not basing it?
Under my own view. Yeah, what about it?
Okay, you just said that you weren't basing it on your own view after you just said it was.
Wait, what did I say I was not pacing under my own view?
When you first started the conversation.
What?
Look, brother, we appreciate you.
What did I say that I wasn't? Wait, what did I say that I was not putting under my view?
I hope that many people are blessed by it, and they all have to be accountable for themselves. Let them make their own decisions, because guess what, Parker? You're not going to be there to debate for them. You're not going to be able to be accountable for every person that subscribes for you. They are going to be accountable for themselves, and they will make the decisions for themselves. And the consequences will be based on decisions they made, not on the debate you give. So bless everybody here. I hope we all make the right decisions, including myself, which I don't always make the right decisions. I need grace in my life. I've tried everything on my own. It made me feel empty as well. I've had everything. I told my sons, I sat them down the other day, I said, you have everything. I said, let me ask you something. Last Christmas, you wanted that one thing, didn't you? He said, yeah. I said, well, you got it. I said, well, where's it at? It's in the closet, right? He said, yeah. I said, well, guess what? There's always going to be something else that you're going to want. And it's never going to fill you. It's never going to fill you. A debate's not going to fill you. Money's not going to fill you. Followers aren't going to fill you. Only Jesus can do that.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be filled by followers or filled by these things. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make sure that we have a better place to live in, or that people have a better place to live in the future. Right? My children, other people's children's, right? Other people's children, right? That's what I care about.
Right. And that's great. You know what? Because you build a platform. And at least 500,000 people are going to listen. And maybe they might side with me. Maybe they side with you. Who knows? But at least somebody's trying to learn at the same pace that we all are. Correct? So
that the point is to facilitate open conversations so that people critically think. Yeah.
Exactly. And let them make their decisions. Let them, because they're all going to be accountable for themselves. You can't help them. Neither can I. We can only base our own opinions, right? Or we can only say what's truly justified, right? It's the whole, you know why Jesus was born of a virgin?
I don't believe that to be true.
Okay, but let's just say it is. Just for my simple fact, okay? Just for conversation. Blood of a woman and a baby never mix. So Jesus had to be born justified, perfect. He had to be the sacrifice. You know why? Because of this same reason.
That comes from a faulty assumption that, like, specifically engaging in sex is the only thing that can break the hymen.
No, I'm saying the sin nature comes from the man, right? I didn't say anything about breaking the hymen.
You said blood. When you're talking about blood?
Right. When I'm saying blood, I'm saying a mother's blood and a baby blood, they never mix. They're never one the same. You could have a woman who has A type A blood and another could come out on a different baby. It doesn't necessarily have to be.
Okay, so then what's your... I don't know if that's true.
That is true. That is very true. Okay, so because of that, this is why Jesus was born of a virgin. He lived a perfect life and he was justified. And he said, while you were yet sinners, I first loved you. So even though Parker was in the sin, this is what he did for you, because he knew you couldn't be justified on your own because of the decisions you made, because you can't obey the laws, because you sin omittedly and because you sin submittedly. You do things wrong that you know you shouldn't do, and then there's things you do wrong that you don't even know you're doing wrong. So how could you be justified? How could grace come into your life? It couldn't come into your life. There had to be a bridge. There had to be a way. So Jesus dies on the cross, a perfect man who did no wrong, who's the bridge, who becomes the excessive.
He did no wrong, but he's all-knowing?
Sure he is.
So he did no wrong.
He did no wrong. Can you prove he did wrong?
Can you prove I did wrong?
Of course I can't. I don't live for you.
Okay, so then you can't prove, and then it doesn't, for you to ask me, can you prove he did wrong, doesn't mean anything.
I do wrong.
Hey, but no, I do have to get going, man.
Well, listen, I appreciate you.
Appreciate it, man.
All right, brother. Have a good one.
Have a good one. All right, I got to get off, everyone. I'm going to hang out with my girlfriend. I love everyone so much. Have a fantastic night, everyone. Tomorrow I should be on doing this as well because I got bananaed so many times today. So I do apologize for that, everyone. That was definitely not my goal there. We're going to help out Dean real quick, everyone. Dean's been getting screwed over by the algorithm recently. So we're going to help him real quick, everyone. Everyone go over to Dean's live real quick. Spam Parker Raid, spam love from Parker. Look up It's Dean with 2 A's, 2 N's. Spam Parker Raid, spam love from Parker. Everyone go to It's Dean. Spam Parker Raid, spam love from Parker. I love everyone so much. Have a fantastic night, everyone. Everyone go to It's Dean. Spam Parker Raid, spam love from Parker, everyone. Go to It's Dean, spam Parker Raid, spam love from Parker. All right, everyone. Have a fantastic night, everyone. Peace out, y'all. Love y'all so much.